USA.net as your Hornets are going to take on El Camino in an exciting game here at Fullerton College. Hey, I'm the old guy along with Corey Neyland, and Ryan Osborn will be calling the action here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Marquise Yetz back deep for El Camino and Bray Weems. And that's Yetz, Mark.
Yetz comes out, cuts at the 20, looking to turn the corner, gets past the 20 to the 25. They're going to bring him down at the 27. An excellent return by El Camino.
And brought down by Jordan Little right there. And Fullerton's defense up front will be Bryce Dunnick, Ant Harris are the two defensive tackles. Blake Hill, the near side defensive end, and the far side end getting the start today will be Carlo Torres out of Ayala High School in Chino Hills.
At quarterback is going to be Jordan. Near side is going to be Sam's, wide receiver. First down and 10 at the 27 for El Camino. And a big sack. Ball comes out. So on the 20, that was made as Jordan goes down quickly after getting blindsided on the play. That's going to be a loss of 8. It's going to take it back to the 19. It'll be second down and 18 at the 20-yard line.
And that was Blake Hill, Mark, that came off that right side. And
Jordan hands it off to Santa Fe Fis, trying to turn the corner. Gets a gain of 5 on the play.
So good job by the Hornets of cracking down and pursuing. Linebackers, Fullerton, Mark, gets Branson Tita-Noir on the outside. Chris Harm, the middle linebacker, as we were talking about earlier, and Jeremiah McNeely. They should have a big game today for the Hornets.
Lurick, Sam's over here, get a flag on the play.
And we'll round out that secondary for the Hornets. Cassius Kearns, wearing number 24 there in blue. His brother Kadari Kearns, next to him 25, is the corner and safety. Salen Streeter, wearing number 4, is your safety, deep safety, and Maximus Ahoya is the other corner. Now they're in their nickel package as they bring in Marcellus Gaines, who they get back after injury.
Weems to the near side of the field. Roll away from the pressure, trying to get out of there is Jordan. Comes up the field, takes off running, gets just taken down at the 28-yard line, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's going to bring up a fourth down with 13:35 to go here in the first quarter.
Good closeout by Jeremiah McNeely, who takes Makai Jordan out. And again, he took Max Ahoya out as well. He came across with the shoulder and led helmet into his own teammate as C.J. Broy is back deep for the Hornets.
Broy will stand at the 28-yard line. End over end. Broy comes up. He's going to take it right at the 33, cuts to the outside, tries to get a block, goes backwards on the play, drops the ball. It's out. We'll see who recovered the fumble. El Camino said they've got it. So does Corey Neyland. El Camino's got it as C.J. Broy. C.J. Broy fumbled the ball, and El Camino recovers it.
Kyron Ross gets the recovery, and they're in business at the Hornet 30-yard line. And C.J. Broy, again, trying to make a play out of nothing, results in a fumble. And this is the way the second half went last year against the Warriors.
Stephen Bradford Jr. now in at running back for El Camino. Jordan at quarterback. First down and 10 right at the 30-yard line. Near side of the field is Weems. In the slot next to him is going to be Hughes. Quarterback, Jordan takes it straight up, cuts the outside, stays on his feet, gets to the 15 on a gliding 15-yard gain for a first down.
And that was more like an essay read option right there because he held it in Bradford's belly for a long time before he took off. That offensive line is anchored by Trey Brooks Hawkins, the center, Raymond O'Keefe, Wesley Widmer, Justin Harris, and Rodney Ty.
Lurick to the far side of the field, the high side of the field. Once again, Jordan goes back. This time he fakes a dive play and gets sacked at the 21-yard line.
And that is Ant Harris, his third sack of the season. making his second sack of this season.
So Weems stays to the near side of the field. Bradford stays in at running back. Now they bring in a few more. Bradford and Santa Fe Fisk in there. Bradford goes in motion. They hand it off to Yetz. Yetz tries to turn the corner. He gets to the 20, gets hit once, twice, three, bounces off to them, but they're going to push him out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 15. They're just going to be short of getting in, making it goal. They've got to get all the way down to the 5. Big 3rd down play. El Camino comes out quickly. 3rd and 15. Throw it over quickly into the flat. Caught there by Bradford Jr.
Kearns pushes him out of bounds. Bradford went for over 120 in last year's game, had a couple of receptions out of the backfield as well.
So El Camino is going to come in. So that's Warnick, the second field goal kicker. They'll spot it at the 21. You add 10. It's a 31-yard attempt for El Camino. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 11:18 to go here in the first quarter, El Camino on a turnover, Corey Neyland, gets on the board quickly. Well, let's look at last year. Fullerton was in control, then staggered to the finish line, and El Camino got in front and never said, hey, how do you do after that?
Yeah, it's like the tortoise and the hare. Fullerton got off to the 28-14 lead at halftime, and before you know it, we're watching there at El Camino in the fourth quarter. It's 28-28. Then El Camino takes the lead, and Fullerton has a chance to get back there, get back into it. But again, big penalty, big turnovers, and miscues doomed them last year.
Back deep for the Hornets is going to be Kristen Cross. Standing next to him is Michael Love.
Ryan Osborn dancing over here, back and forth.
Was he doing the Javier?
DJ Bourne.
Love to the near side of the field. Cross to the far side of the field. Ryan told us that the legs on the kickers for El Camino are impressive. Love's going to take it at the 15. Up the middle, looks for an opening, stays on his feet, tries to cut to the outside, gets across the 30, finally taken down at the 33-yard line. So they're going to mark him at the 33. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 33. Josh Calvin comes in at running back, at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr. at running back. Love to the near side of the field. Far side of the field in the slot, Cameron Woods. 1st down and 10 at the 33. Hand it off to Tyrell. Up the middle, across the 35 as he falls forward. They're going to give him the 37-yard line.
Tripped up by DJ Morgan. Look out for DJ Morgan and Lando Brown on the defensive side of the ball, and number 34, Omar Ibanez.
2nd down and 6. Green averaging 113 yards a game this season. Probably the best running back so far that we have seen, and maybe the best running back in the state of California. Big 2nd down. Hand it off to Green again. He cuts the outside at the 50. Needs to turn the corner. Gets taken out of bounds at the 45. And I guess Corey just said, thank you, old guy. Let me just show you why Corey Neyland and Ryan Osborn think he's such a good running back. What's he got quality-wise? And that's all he needs.
Yeah, he's got it. No, he runs hard. He runs strong. He's powerful. And he's not afraid to shy away from that or initiate that contact.
1st down and 10 across midfield at the 45. Fake it to Green, looking to go deep down the middle field. Miss Koenig on the play. Ryan Osborn, can I go back quickly to you because you interviewed Tyrell Green Jr. on the coach's show. Who did he say he was as a running back?
He said he was himself, very simply, because I asked him, I said, do you pattern your running style after anyone? And he said very simply, no, he doesn't. He feels that he has the ability to not necessarily break away from guys, but he prefers to go into contact and then work with his legs afterwards. It was interesting because one of the things that he mentioned is he doesn't mind blocking. In fact, he loves that sort of contact and confrontation, but if he can go into someone, it clues in his runs.
2nd down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 45. Calvin goes back. He's going to step up, goes across the middle of the field, puts it right on the money, and Stewart gets taken down at the 25. So Kristen Stewart in today because we're not going to see Jordan Smith out there today. So Stewart's going to get a little extra time. 1st down and 10 at the 25. Look over to the sidelines. Josh Calvin, about a 59% completion ratio right now. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this season. Tyrell Green Jr. goes up the middle, crosses the 20 to the 18. And Corey, I guess that's what I'm impressed with. He's a running back that, like Ryan was says, runs well to the outside, but he looks like he enjoys off tackle.
Yeah, he likes AB and getting up through there behind Will Peroni, the center, Daniel Medelis on the left side, and Sammy Garcia on the right side.
Quick flat pass over there to C.J. Broy that goes absolutely nowhere.
And that's Lando Brown, the best name in community college football, J. Sarah High School out of Gardena. Joining that offensive line on the interior, on the outside, left tackle will be George Silva out of La Habra, 6'8", 300, and Sebastian Medina on the right side, 6'6", 350 out of Whittier.
Koenig and Broy go to the far side of the field. Franklin comes to the near side of the field. 3rd down and 7. Looking for something in the middle. Steps away from the pressure. Now it's a foot race against the defense. Needs a block. Broy throws a block, and he gets down to the 20, but that's short of a 1st down.
And Calvin slipped on the cutback, or else he's got a 1st down because C.J. Broy did turn around and get a body in front of the defender. Defender stuck an arm out along with Calvin slipping.
Jonathan Fulber is coming out right now. You look at Fulber so far this year. His attempted 6 field goals, made 4. Longest one from 42 yards. So you look at this one, it's about 27. You add 10, it's a 37-yard attempt. Right at the edge of being able to make it. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7:54 to go in the 1st quarter, well, it's El Camino 3, Fullerton 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy here at Fullerton Union High School District Stadium. Happy to bring you the game. I know, guys, you laughed at me because, Corey, I said it was a must-win. You used the cliche on me. All games are must-wins. But it almost feels like this team needs to go out and win this game and finish a team off as they get ready to go close to conference play.
You can say that. I just think they need to win when they go into conference play. It's not a must-win here. It's a must-win when they get into conference because that really decides if you're going to a bowl game or if you got a chance to get to the playoffs.
So Kobe Bell is back deep along with, I'm going to say Yetz one more time. Or is that?
We'll say Bell. And if it's not, we'll correct it after. It is Colby Bell. No, actually, no, it's not. It's Bray Weems again.
Okay, so Weems gets it one more time. Takes it, ball comes out. Hornets have it on a turnover.
Anthony Williams with the recovery, knocking it away was Jordan Little. Special teams, 2 tackles, and 1 forced fumble for Jordan Little. And Anthony Wilson out of Trinity High School in Texas recovers. Little does Vista Marietta proud.
So it's 7:47 here in the 1st quarter. Both teams that have turnovers. Weems gets it knocked out, recovered on the 25, would be 1st down and 10. Gibson now comes into the game, goes to the far side of the field with Koenig. Near side of the field is C.J. Broy. Green still in at running back. 1st down and 10 from the 25 for the Hornets. Straight dive play to Tyrell Green Jr. fortunately, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Great defense.
Luke Akyong first in the backfield. Aaron House cleans it up on the interior. Elsewhere on the interior for the Warriors is Diego Godino and Lando Brown round out that front four.
Michael Love and Cameron Woods now come to the near side of the field. Koenig still at the far side of the field with Gibson. Looking to go over to Gibson. They get it to him, catches it with his hands. They're going to mark him at the 20 or the 21. It'll be the 21 they mark him at. That was the initial catch.
Yeah, catch made about the 19-yard line. He turns to the outside, loses those 2 yards. But let's see if they work Gibson on that type of play, a slant type of a sluggo route, maybe in the next quarter.
Broy and Koenig come to the near side of the field. Franklin with Stewart go to the far side of the field. Second down and a long 7. Jones goes back, tries to get away, looks the middle of the field, tries to throw it on the dead run and could not get it to Franklin on a crossing pattern.
Yeah, Calvin was there. He moves up. He wants to throw because he sees the receiver. He had a few yards to run, would have made an interesting call. If he hadn't made that first down, he would have been close if he was going to be brought down. And now they're going to go another field goal attempt. This one's backed up, Mark.
So this will be from 40 yards. They're going to spot it at the 30, just inside the 30. So the first one success. His longest field goal this year, 42 yards. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. Kick is blocked. Picked up right there at the 30. So his kick is blocked, and El Camino comes up with the first big defensive play of this half.
Yeah, there's been 3 turnovers. That's a turnover.
So they're going to take it all the way to the 30. El Camino comes out. Weems to the near side of the field. Jordan at quarterback. Weems. Jordan takes it himself, gets to the 30. So Bradford comes out of the game. No, he stays in. So Bradford stays in. Stephen Bradford Jr. is the running back. Second down. Throw it over here and throw it short. It's down on the ground. Incomplete pass. Trying to get that to Lorick.
And it's good pressure by the defensive line. Last play, Ant Harris gets the tackle for loss, his 4th of the season. And this time the interior, Bryce Dunnick, gets through.
So Weems to the near side of the field. Jabari Hughes Jr. in the slot next to him. Bradford still in the backfield. Jordan at quarterback. 3rd down and 11. Right at the 29. Jordan looks over. Goes back. Pressure comes up. Throws it down. Incomplete pass. Had the receiver open. Threw it down and away. Corey, difficult catch to make for the receiver.
Jordan wasn't allowed to step into his throw. He kind of not just threw off his back foot, but was leaning back as he released the ball. Left it short.
Yeah, and Kobe Bell couldn't go down and get it. So it brings up a 4th down. C.J. Broy back in for the Hornets, back deep. He'll stand right at the 36-yard line. Sun is setting. Shadows coming into the field. 5:52 here in the first quarter. Tied all up at 3. Big pressure. Tries to get there. Beautiful spiral. Broy signals for a fair catch, stumbles, but holds on to it, and he's going to be marked down right at the 28-yard line.
42 yards on the kick.
So with 5:45 to go, it's El Camino 3, Fullerton 3. You're watching Fullerton College Football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy. Nunez comes out at quarterback. for the Hornets. So Brandon Nunez in at quarterback for the Hornets. Garnett Davis the third in at running back. Malik Winston will also come in. So Malik Winston in the back with Garnett Davis. They pitch it to Malik Winston on the ground, and it's going to be a loss. So they faked it to the first back, pitched it to Winston. That's a run that they used against Allen Hancock.
And it's a nice design. If that pitch was there, that misdirection would have gotten them a couple yards. But again, Nunez wasn't able to get a good enough pitch, and they lose a big 7 yards, Mark.
Tyrell Green Jr. in. Nunez still in a quarterback. 2nd down and 17. Green goes from left to right. Nunez looks over the defense. Goes back. Tries to find somebody open. Nice little pitch to Franklin, who gets taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Ryan Franklin catches that one. Franklin had 2 receptions coming into today's game. 4:54 to go. Nunez stays back there. About 3rd down and 8. Here comes the pressure. Across the middle of the field. Taken there by Franklin. All hands. Beautiful catch. Comes across the middle. Corey Neyland. That was all fingertips, guys, for a 1st down.
About 26 yards on the game. Ryan Franklin, like you said, 2 catches coming into this game. 2 catches here in the first quarter with 4:31 to play. Good quick release, allowing Nunez to take 1-2 and then throw the ball, getting that rhythm.
C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Koenig in the slot. Franklin goes to the far side of the field. Stewart in the slot. 1st down. Tyrell Green Jr. up the middle across the 40 to the 38.
And we'll round out that secondary for the Warriors. Jonathan Johnson wears number 1 in white. Keith Morgan Jr. at number 6. Justin Evans is wearing number 9. And Michael Sams wearing number 2. That's that secondary for the Warriors.
Nunez looks over. Broy, Koenig, near side of the field. Goes back again. Looks our direction, and we're going to have a flag on the play. It stops the play. So we get illegal procedure against the Hornets. That's going to back them up. So Broy and Koenig go to the far side of the field. Franklin comes to the near side of the field in a single set on this side. Tyrell Green, the running back. Nunez, the quarterback. 2nd down and 12. Tyrell Green Jr. up the middle. Splits 2, splits 3. We get a big yellow hanky in the middle of the field. Corey Neyland, that's going to be called on those talented offensive linemen.
That's Daniel Medelis. He grabbed a hold of Luke Ak-Young, but again, it's one of those things where the defensive tackle loses his balance as he's rushing. Medelis already has his hands on and looks like a hold. Yellow flag is thrown, so they do call it a hold.
Holding against the Hornets. So it is going to remain 2nd down as they're going the wrong way with 3:24 to go in this first quarter. We're knotted up at 3. It's a tight baseball game. Malik Winston now comes in at running back. Single set back there. Big 2nd down and a trip to Tustin. They give it to Malik. Turns the corner. Winston goes across the 50, down to the 49. Nice gain of 7 for Malik at running back.
Lando Brown and DJ Morgan on the stop. And speaking of rolling to the right side, guys, Ray, Big Ray, we were missing you, man. You need to get out here quickly so we can hang. Always a big shout out to Ray.
Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him. On the near side of the field is going to be Michael Love. Nunez still in at quarterback. Malik Winston, the running back. Big 3rd down and a long 17. Handed off to Malik. Malik goes off left tackle, gets across the 45, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Ryan Osborn, Malik's out there now, couldn't break that run away, and really too much yardage to break on a run.
Yeah, it's tough for him, especially when you're going in that direction. You know that you have so many yards to pick up, so you're doing your best to just get as much yardage as possible out of that situation. Does a good job to get about 6 or 7, and especially getting extra 4 after contact, but when you take a look at it, that's just a lot to be able to regain on a 3rd down.
Lorick back deep for El Camino. High spiral. He feels the pressure, signals for a fair catch, and then takes 2 steps. No flag on the play. Nobody hit him. I like no flag on that call. He realized, whoops, and I think he realized I was at the 5. I shouldn't have signaled for a fair catch.
You know, I hate that. I really do. Every time somebody catches a punt below the 10-yard line, I hate it. It's not good football. I don't care what you say. I don't care who tells you. It's just not good. You let that bounce, and hopefully it goes into the end zone. If the punter just makes an excellent punt and it dies, hey, that's on the punter. But let it go.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 5. Stephen Bradford Jr. in at running back. They hand it off to Bradford Jr. up the middle. Looks like he gets maybe a gain of 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Robert De La Torre is in on the stop, fresh into the ball game. Jeremiah McNeely was in the backfield along with Chris Harm. The other linebacker to join McNeely and Harm is Marcellus Gaines.
Jordan still at quarterback. Going to hand it off to Bradford Jr. again. Tries to go around the right side. Gets the end, cuts in. Gets a gain of another 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. Boy, they're giving a generous spot. And 2.
I thought it was a good spot.
Did you really?
Oh,
I thought it was a little up.
I thought he hounded forward and fell forward.
Big 3rd down and 2 with 50 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Jordan goes back, finds the middle of the field, puts it right on the dime, and that catch made right there with Weems, and Weems moves the chain, and we're at 44 seconds here in the 1st quarter. Weems comes to the near side of the field. Jabari Hughes goes to the far side of the field. 1st down and 10, right at the 25. Hand it right off the right side. Another nice little run taken there by Stephen Bradford Jr. or Stephen. As we come to the end of this 1st quarter, as the clock ticks down, we'll see if El Camino tries to get one more off where we're at the 10-second mark. And it looks like they're just going to let the clock run down. He looks at the coach looks at him, says, hey, they're not even letting us go yet. Now the official gets out of the way. And El Camino's not happy. Ryan Osborn, if you watch the official, he stood over the football and they wanted to run one more play. He didn't let him. That seemed to have upset El Camino on the field. So we come to the end of the 1st quarter. It's El Camino 3, Fullerton 3, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy calling the action here from Fullerton District Stadium, where it's right now 3-3 and a slow, quiet 1st quarter here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So, Ryan, I'm going to ask you first. Defensive battle or just mistakes?
I think it's just mistakes on both sides. You look at a couple of those special teams things. Go back to that punt that was dropped. Like you were talking about, Corey, it's just not good football at that point. You got to make sure that you're underneath that football, make the catch. On the other side, you get that special teams play where you don't get the opportunity to get a field goal because it's blocked. Again, both of these sides just making a lot of mistakes right now.
Lorick comes out here to the near side of the field. Jordan stays in at quarterback. 2nd down and 10. Might as well just say the 25. It's that close. Hornets look like they're bringing pressure. They are straight up the middle. Thrown over there in the flat. Caught, but down. Maybe a loss of a half a yard. What a defensive rush by the Hornets.
McNeely was in the backfield. He's the one who came on the blitz. Blake Hill was in the backfield. Carlo Torres. Also, all 3 put pressure on Jordan to make a bad throw. into the ball game. Bradford is out. He's their team's second leading rusher. Santana Feast is the team's leading rusher. He's in there now.
So you've got Yeti in the backfield with Jordan. 3rd down and 10. Once again, looks to go in the middle of the field and has all by himself. Yet is there. Should have caught the ball. Doesn't. 4th down, El Camino.
Bad throw. Bad throw. He's running a square out to his right. He's in full speed on his right. The ball is thrown. He can't react quick enough to turn all the way back and catch it. It was thrown behind him. Better throw. That's a first.
So 4th down at the 25. C.J. Broy is going to stand at the 30. We just started the second quarter, 14-47. High snap, no pressure. Broy comes up. He's going to take this one. Goes to his right, stutter steps, looks for a block, can get none. Excellent coverage by El Camino.
Amani Givens out of Baton Rouge brings him down, and Broy has just not had a good night getting punts. 1 fumble that was lost, and no room to roam.
Ryan Osborn, do you always notice when somebody says Baton Rouge, they have a little French, even Corey Neyland?
You have to. I'm sorry, I should say it right. Baton Rouge.
Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Corey Neyland's going to work on where we're at right now. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets, right across the 30. Calvin back in the game. Goes to Gibson. They're going to call it a catch. Incomplete pass. Bounced up, skipped. Couldn't fake it well enough to get the call. 2nd down and 10. You've got a career in voiceover, young man. 2nd down and 10 at the 32. Franklin comes in the game. Franklin near side of the field with Koenig. Woods goes to the far side of the field. No, he's going to stay right as the up back. Now he goes in motion. Hand it straight up the middle. Tyrell Green Jr. comes up the middle to the 50. I don't know, Ryan Osborn. It might be because of the coach's show. He's running so well tonight that we had a 90.1 KBPK.
And I asked him what type of run he prefers. He says, give it to me right down the middle. And that's exactly what he did.
And you know he looks for contact.
1st down and 10 for Tyrell Green Jr. And the Hornets right across the 50 on an explosive run. 113 yards a game for the young man. He's adding more tonight. This time, throw it over there. Franklin, who's been the hot receiving hands, pulls that one down. Corey, the same route that he caught for the big gainer.
Unofficially 3 receptions, 43 yards for Ryan Franklin. And they're moving the chains. And that was a nice throw by Calvin. Again, snap, 1-2, throw.
1st down and 10 at the 38. Calvin hands it off to Tyrell Green Jr., who cuts back. And, okay, quickly, I got to ask you, when we say running back that seeks contact?
I think he's a running back that seeks the most efficient way to gain yardage, and that's up the field. If that's a straight line, he's your running back. You don't see him bouncing outside unless he has to, a la that College of the Canyons when they needed a 1st down on 4th down. He runs up inside but bounces it outside.
2nd down and a long 5. Calvin this time tries to take it, and a quarterback keeper gets nowhere, gets pushed back to 35, loss of 2 in the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 9 for the Hornets.
Koa Carroll on the stop.
So Franklin comes out of the game. Gibson comes to the near side of the field. Broy and Koenig go to the far side of the field. Malik Winston in at running back, so they're going to run with Winston and Tyrell Green Jr. in the game. No, it looks like that's Garnett in the game. They run it with Winston on the pitch, which worked against Allen Hancock, and it gets nowhere. So it's going to bring up a 4th down at the 35. Going for it?
Yeah, you got to go for it here. A little bit too long for a field goal attempt, a little too short to punt it away. Your offense is in some kind of a rhythm right now, so a good chance. But I like that play because that's something setting something up big later in this ball game for Garnett Davis.
Malik Winston stays in. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Gibson to the near side of the field. A single set. Trips to the far side of the field. 4th down and a long 7. They fake it. Here comes the pressure. Flip it over there. Calvin's going to get hit. Malik all by himself in the flat. If the ball gets to him, he's got a 1st down, but too much pressure on the play.
Orlando Brown applies the pressure. And again, you like the call going for it. It was there. But again, El Camino stepping up on the defensive side of the ball. And both teams, sloppy play, good defense, make for a 3-3 game is where we sit.
Stephen Bradford Jr. in at running back. Jordan stays in at quarterback. 1st down and 10, right at the 35. 11:43 to go. Throws it quickly over here in the flat, taken by Lorick. Lorick gets up to the 40. So Lorick at the 40. Gain of 5. Run it the opposite direction. Taken there by Santana Fiss.
Yeah, Santana Fiss does a nice job. He's taken over the team's leading rusher, and they've only played 3 games. As they have a makeup with Santa Monica, you got me saying it now, next week.
Stephen Bradford Jr. gets that to the 50. Look at Ryan Osborn sitting over there.
Out of Moon Park.
I'm going to leave him in San Bernardino.
What's happening, Jason?
Jason Vanderbeer coming through the booth. 2nd down and 8. Jordan keeps it himself, tries to get away, gets taken down at the 50.
Brandon's son makes the stop, as well as Kennedy Jr. LeBaron out of Marietta, Georgia, Marietta High School, and Brandon's son, local product out of Orange.
Jordan goes across the middle of the field. Good pass, good catch, good defense. 1st down on a nice catch by Weems across the middle, which moves the chains.
Christian Cross saw the play a little bit late on the reaction. Hesitant, if you will.
It's in. Bradford Jr. takes it, turns the corner at the 40, and it's collision time. And he gets a gain of 5 on a strong run right there.
And it's coming back. It's coming back, Mark, that left side of the offensive line.
Holding against El Camino.
At that old Clint Eastwood movie, Mark, Fistful of Jersey.
9:51 to go. Ryan Osborn still standing over there staring at Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich. Don't make me bring up memories, young man. I can still remember being in Sacramento. And Ryan, you got what to say?
You see how you say make me bring up memories, and Mark just brings them up?
I'm old.
I was going to bring Jason back on.
He disappeared quickly, didn't he?
You could also bring Prince Shinola back on.
Yeah. 1st down. And a long ways for Ryan Osborn. Goes back over in the other direction. Nice catch there by Lorick, who gets down the field across the 40 all the way to the 38.
I'm with the Fullerton coaches. Trey Brooks Hawkins pushes Jeremiah McNeely in the back, and there's no call, and picks up a positive gain of 11.
Stephen Bradford Jr. in the backfield. Gets it off. Going down deep for Lorick again. Goes up. Can't catch the ball. Good defense. Incomplete pass.
Offsides on the Fullerton. So that was a free play. Going to advance it 5 yards, and it's still going to be 2nd down.
9:12 to go here in the second quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net as we stumble and bumble our way through this quarter. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy. So Santana Fis in the backfield, along with Bradford. Fake it, give it to Fis, tries to keep going, refuses to go down, backs across the 30 for a first down.
He just wanted it more on that play than Fullerton and picks up that first down as he's backing and moving those legs strong.
Averaging 7 yards a carry when he gets the ball. They fake it, throw it against the Lorick. Lorick had it right there and drops it on the play.
And it's good that it was a throw behind Lorick, because a perfect throw would have been picked and Jeremiah McNeely would have had an interception.
So Yates now comes in the game as a running back with Santana Fis. Second down and 10 at the 30. Jordan goes back, looks and throws it over the flat, overshoots his receiver with 8:45 to go here in the first half. So miscues by everyone, the booth, the field, the officials, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy bringing you the action. Lorick, near side of the field. Far side of the field is going to be Hughes. Jabari Hughes Jr. to the far side of the field. Throw it out to the flat. Take it on there, turn the corner. Nice little pitch and catch to Brendan Hodge, who moves up. So Hodge now into the action. So a plethora of receivers by this team. So fourth down, and El Camino dropping the wild card, said we're going to go for it. Big fourth down. Jordan back at quarterback, tries to get people to jump, get a flag. It's against the Hornets. Incomplete pass, but the Hornets are offsides. It'll be a first down for El Camino. So the Hornets jump, and El Camino gets a first down. Fullerton currently ranked 9th in the state of California. El Camino at 15. So first down and 10, they move the chains because of the penalty right across the 20 for El Camino. Hand it off again. Stephen Bradford Jr. takes that one across the 20 down to the 18.
And that's the play that killed Fullerton last year, that with that zone blocking, there's no way to cut back, and Fullerton is actually playing the gaps in this first half, not allowing the El Camino Warrior running backs to get those big gains that they had last year.
Lorick to the right. Jabari Hughes Jr. to the left. They hand it off again to Stephen. He takes it down across the 15. So you look at Stephen Bradford Jr. eating things up right off a right tackle.
Yeah, and just when you say they're not picking up those big gains, they stretch it out a little bit more to widen the field and open up that hole, and he picks up 6 yards.
El Camino getting confused on who's coming in, who's not coming in. Lorick stays out wide to the right. In the slot is going to be Brendan Hodge, tight on the left side. Along with Hodge is going to be Jabari Hughes Jr. And we're going to get a timeout by El Camino. So it's 6:44 to go. It's going to be El Camino 3, Fullerton 3 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, Ryan Osborn, both these teams look like they're doing something, and then it's almost like I did with a name. I couldn't spit it out, then Corey couldn't spit it out, it looks like nobody can spit out any offense on the field.
Yeah, and when you look at both of these two sides, it doesn't necessarily look methodical either. It just looks like both of these two teams can't find a rhythm. A little bit of a feeling out process as well. It's kind of similar to what we saw early in the Cerritos game. Tried to think of the name, ended up blanking, but it was kind of like what we saw early in the Cerritos game, where both of these two teams couldn't figure out what they want to do offensively, couldn't execute once they figured it out, and it was choppy up until halftime. You're seeing the same kind of set from both of these two sides.
You know what I blame this all on, guys? When we're forgetting things, we hug somebody who's dealing with people with mind memory tricks now down on the field. I think he sucked the energy out of all three of us. Third down for El Camino. Big third down for El Camino. Santana Fisk, the lone running back for El Camino. Let's see if they hand it off to him. He's been spectacular. He picks up the pressure. Fullerton comes after Jordan. It's a throw or is it a drop? Doesn't matter because the defense made sure whatever it was that they would be there. Are they going to call it a fumble, Corey, and a recovery?
They're calling it a fumble, not a pass. So they're saying Blake Hill caused a fumble and brings him back up. Oh, no, now they call it incomplete pass.
Okay, so first it looked like they were calling it a fumble. I agree with you. I thought they were too. But they're going to move it up. So once again, El Camino will attempt a field goal. 6:19 to go. Ball will be spotted at the 20. Add on 10. It's a 30-yard attempt. Middle of the field. Right off the right hash. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. Kick is blocked. Streeter picks it up, looks for a block, cuts to the outsides, got some people in front of him, and they're throwing blocks down the field. Turns the corner, stays on his feet at the 50, sidesteps at the 45, taken down. What a return. Corey Neyland, give it to the people that threw blocks in front of him. I got to take it back to you. Everybody threw a block, and his running was spectacular.
Yeah, 52 yards later, Salem Streeter has a nose for the end zone, 2 pick sixes this season, and almost a return on a blocked field goal attempt that would have gone 95 yards. Blake Hill on that pass attempt to bring up fourth down causes the incomplete pass. On the field goal attempt, he busts right through the offensive line and gets the block.
First down and 10 across midfield, all the way down to the 44 for the Hornets. So they tilt the field. Finally, the quarterback says, this time on my keeper, I'll keep it. Runs over a defensive back at the 30. And finally, Josh Calvin gets the exhilaration going on the sideline with that run.
New name is McMark because he trucked that defensive guy.
Tyrell Green Jr. in the backfield. Big first down and 10 at the 30. C.J. Broy back here. He comes back, looks towards Broy's direction, and it was incomplete. And Broy was forced out of bounds, then ran back in, and they were going to call it incomplete because he ran 5 yards down the field in the red part of the field. You have to reestablish yourself quickly, even if you're knocked out of bounds.
Well, they were going to throw that flag because they thought he was the first person to touch the ball after he stepped out of bounds to come back in. But again, simultaneously with the defensive back touching ball, no flag, 2nd and 10.
Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig to the far side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr. right there. 2nd down and 10. Josh Calvin this time goes to Gibson. On the hands, he holds on to it, and that takes it down to the 15. First down and 10 for the Hornets.
But again, the best throws he's made today are 2-step drops and quickly release the ball. Gibson again on that inside slant does a nice job.
Stewart on the far side of the field with Koenig. Broy to the far side of the field. Gibson still to the near side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. First down and 10. No pressure. Nobody's there. He's going to take off running again. Fakes. Turns at the 10. Looks for the sticks. Goes out. Dives for the pylons. They're going to mark him out at the 2. Once again, Josh Calvin season opening. Corey, you had him running up here. It was sort of funny. Ryan, Corey's going, run, my young man, run, standing next to me. Not moving anywhere, but he was sort of doing like a cha-cha step while I was up there. He learned that from somebody in the 145 sports class.
What you really enjoyed there is the cutback that he had.
Josh Calvin comes back up. Tyrell Green Jr. in the backfield. Handed off to Tyrell. Touchdown, Fullerton. 4:38 to go. And Corey, let's go back. This was all made, and you already talked about the young man that picked up that fumble and brought it back. Easy just to lay down where he got it. He got it at the 4-yard line. He could have called it quits. He decided, I'm taking it home for a touchdown.
And he's got a cast on his right hand, so he picks the ball up knowing he's got a cast on his right hand. But no, he picks it up because he's got a chance. Anytime he has possession, he's got a chance to score no matter where he is on the.
Try for the point after. Ball will be spotted at the 10. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good with 4:38 to go. It's now Fullerton 10, El Camino 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. He's the one who has that 100-yard return that we saw. No,
he's got the first return he had was against Santa Ana. I believe it was the second play or the third play of the game. He went 44 yards for a pick six. The second interception and pick six was against College of the Canyons. The Cougars' first offensive play of the game was that out pattern. He stepped in front of it, went about 50 yards, and scored 6. I think it was Ronald McFoy, who had that 100-yard interception return against Santa Ana.
So Yates is back deep.
So Yates and Weems.
So Yates and Weems back again. Weems at the far side of the field. Yates on the near side of the field. Hornets block a field goal. Bring it back across the 50 and then get that go-ahead touchdown here before the first half ends. Yates comes up, settles underneath at the 11. Looks for people out in front. He has them. Stays on his feet. The scrum starts. The pile continues to move. Nobody's down yet. You know, I'm waiting for that magical thing where a guy sneaks out of the pile and keeps on running while everybody's pushing the pile. But that's taken all the way out to, I think, the 38-yard line.
And we'll reset that defense for the Hornets as Marcellus Gaines is the linebacker, Jeremiah McNeely, and Branson Tita Noir. The secondary safeties are Kadari Kearns and Anthony Wilson. The corner, near side, Christian Cross, far side, Max Ahoya. And we'll get that defensive front in a moment.
Jordan in at quarterback. Lorick, the far side of the field. This time, straight dive up the middle. Nobody stopping that train. Run down the field. He breaks the tackle. Touchdown, El Camino. That quick. They tie up the game, and it was all by Brian Santana Biss up the middle. So it's Brian Santana Feast up the middle.
60 yards. That's impressive. He was stopped. Well, I shouldn't say stopped. He was touched 3 different times right up the middle mark. And again, he broke those 3 tackles and just bullied the Fullerton defense.
The leading runner, that's his 4th touchdown this season for El Camino. Corey, that was a straight dive play off center.
It's what we've seen in 4 games with Tyrell Green Jr. Like you said, a straight dive play gets past the front line. The linebackers are there to make the stop. He runs over the line, runs through the linebackers, runs over the safety, and just scoots 60 yards for a touchdown. That's an impressive comeback after a score by the other team, as you can see.
And Ryan, when you look at what he does for a big man, because he's one of the bigger physical running backs for El Camino, foot speed, pretty incredible.
Well, you talk about that foot speed, just getting away from the secondary. He looked like he was wrapped up twice in the secondary, But once he keeps those legs moving, he gets past one, and you saw him break away. As soon as he realized he was out in the open, it's like he turned it on to a brand new gear.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Fullerton tried to tackle with the upper body. Hits upper body and tries to hug him instead of actually hitting him.
So Fullerton gets all excited with the lead and then says, thank you for the birthday gift, but we need to give you one too. And we're tied at 10 with 4:13 to go here in the first half. Kick deep, taken at the 3, looking for a return trip up the middle, stays on his feet all the way out to the 35. So the Hornets get it all the way back to the 35, looking to hopefully get it on that one. Michael Love returned that one. We have a flag down on the play, so Michael Love brings it back out to the 30. Tied at 10. Well, it looks like it's going to be one of those games going down to the very end here at Fullerton District Stadium. El Camino, Fullerton. So holding call against the Hornets. That's going to take it all the way back to the 20. Josh Calvin comes back out. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. Franklin to the near side of the field. Koenig standing next to him. Michael Love on the far side of the field. First down and 10 at the 20. Josh Calvin hands it off to Tyrell Green Jr. Hits off tackle, gain of 4 on the play. 3:58 to go here in the first half. Second down and 6 for the Hornets. Michael Love, far side of the field. Tight end Cameron Wood on the far side of the field. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Big second down for the Hornets. Josh Calvin takes it himself, puts down his head. They're going to mark him just short of the 30. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 at the 29. C.J. Broy to the far side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him. Franklin in the slot on the near side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. Gibson closest to the camera. 3rd down and 1, 3-minute mark. Koenig goes in motion. Tyrell Green Jr. doesn't get it. They give it to Koenig. Koenig comes across, first down. So they put Koenig in the slot, move him a little, Corey, and just get him coming out for a quick little easy first down play.
Yeah, Fred Martin on the stop on the near side. Koenig, he does his damage in the slot, Mark. And in the seam routes, he's made 3 crucial catches this season in games.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Right short at the 34. Here comes the pressure. Throw it across middle field. C.J. Broy once again catches it with his hands, goes down to the 30, and the receivers, Ryan Osborn, they're impressive. Koenig catches it with his hands. Gibson catches it with his hand, and Broy's another one. This year, an impressive group of receivers. Quickly, hurry up. Looking all by himself in the middle. Incomplete pass. Ryan, I just brought that up to you. You've been out there enough. Got to be impressed with this group of receivers.
And you know what? For these group of receivers, to their credit also as well, Mark, they're not afraid to go down the middle of the field. Oftentimes you'll see with college wide receivers, they don't like to go to the middle just in case there's a lot of heavy contact from those free safeties. Instead, these receivers for Fullerton aren't afraid to go right into it. We saw Koenig twice against College of the Canyons and once against Santa Ana.
Here comes the pressure. Ball gets hit. Is it a fumble? I heard no whistle. Picked up by Franklin, and now they're going to call it an incomplete pass. And the white hat let the play go on.
A little lethargic.
Yeah. Well, I know that feeling.
Yeah, but you got to make that, make that call quicker, like immediately. That was Lando Brown coming off that edge. And he's been in the backfield a few times in this first half.
3rd down and 10 at the 30. Tyrell Green Jr., the running back. Gibson, the near side of the field. Koenig, the far side of the field with C.J. Broy and Christian Stewart. 3rd down and 10. Tyrell Green Jr. says, goodbye, I'm not going down. Oh, he trips over his shoelaces.
Nah, and that's being helped by Keith Morgan Jr., who helped him trip over his shoelaces. Mark, everybody said as soon as he broke the hole, that's going for 6, at least a 1st down. We thought 6.
1st and goal for the Hornets. They quickly come up. 1:50 to go in the first half. They go for a pass play. Gibson, back shoulder, flag on the play.
And we go back to that run by Tyrell Green Jr. On the coach's show this week, he told Ryan that every time he touches the ball, he thinks he can score. And he runs, and that typified his running style.
Well, you know, that's sort of like the big sandwich. He's the same way every time he sees food. He thinks he can eat it. But it doesn't always happen. But, you know, we understand that. We love you, Joe. We hope you're watching us here on sportsnetusa.net. So 1st and goal on the flag. Tyrell Green Jr. still in at running back. Josh Calvin at quarterback. 1:44 to go. Hornets want to end this half on a positive. Josh Calvin throws it again. That time touchdown. And Gibson again. Boy, howdy, guys. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn. I got to go back to both of you. Corey, how long has it been when we've seen so many receivers for this team that use their hands that are good up and down through the 5 that are on the field?
Yeah, it's a receiving group that's confident when they catch the ball. Again, there's a difference between catching the ball and knowing you're going to catch the ball. Each one of these receivers knows they're going to catch the ball, and it shows on a throw in a catch like that. And a throw, Calvin looked experienced on that throw.
So 1:39 to go. Ball is spotted. Flag on the play. I think they stopped the play before it started.
But you see how the run game opens up the play action pass. That run game by Green Jr., you fake it into him, into his gut. You bring it back, and Gibson is wide open.
Ryan, I got to ask Ryan Osborn, how come everybody you interview on the coach's show, the next game, it seems like we're talking about him in the game?
You know what? That's just the special magic the coach's show has. That each and every time we go out there and we decide, hey, we're going to talk to this group, it's because they're already having a good season. It's just that the spotlight shows on the coach's show, so immediately in your mind, you say, hey, I feel like I just talked to them. Well, mainly because Mark's always here, but also because they were on the coach's show and having a nice season.
So I guess that offensive line is up next.
Absolutely.
They already had Will Peroni on. Got to get the rest of them.
Well, and that's a group I want to talk to both of you about, too, after this extra point. So we'll spot the ball again. 1:39 to go in this first half. The Hornets retake the lead on a good mixture of passing. We're going to get false start on the kicker as he gets set and Faubert gets ready to go. He takes, all of a sudden he goes, I'm going to take that first step. Oops, I'm not ready. And they're going to throw a flag on him. Oh, they're going to call offsides? Ooh, offsides against El Camino. And if I was on the coaching staff,
They bait him. There was a couple different players on El Camino who came through and baited the offensive line and the kicker to come across and jump.
I got the coaches for Fullerton College down there in the end going, okay, Corey Neyland may not look the part, but he knows what he's talking about.
That's because I was watching them.
So we'll try it again. Ball spotted, kick is up, and the kick is no good. So with 1:39 to go, it's Fullerton 16, El Camino 10, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan, I got to go back because I know you're going to talk to him. The offensive line, I mean, I know you talked to Tyrell Green Jr. Did he give the offensive line any love when he talked or not?
You know what? It wasn't necessarily about the offensive line at that point. My interview with him was more just focused on I wanted to know what he saw. So it wasn't about the offensive line, but when I talked to the offensive line about Tyrell Green and how they make sure that they get his protections, they say for them it's nice to have a back like Tyrell Green because as soon as they get that first punch in It feels like he's waiting for them to set their block. So he allows them to do their job by waiting for them to seal off their guy, and then he punches through that hole. Oftentimes what you'll see from running backs, especially at the community college level, is guys will run right into their own blocker because they're not patient and waiting for that block to be set. Tyrell Green does a good job of that, and the offensive line gives him credit.
Well, he did it on that drive there for the Hornets, and they're up by 6 with 1:39 to go here in the first half. It's Fullerton 16. El Camino 10 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy bringing you the action for this game.
Don't forget Brian Norman out in Monrovia, always listening. Good to hear from you, Brian. I hope everything is well.
Deep kick. Going to take drop at the 10. Look for the outside. Nobody's going to cut it. He's got a cavalcade going up the middle. Refuses to go down. And so Yates gets all the way up across the 30 to the 32.
Did you just drop in a cavalcade?
I did.
That's nice. Almost as nice as that run back by Yates. That was good.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, at my age, I should at least get a compliment just because I can make it up the stairs, you know. Ridicule. I deal with ridicule at my age. So the Hornets trying to hold on. Jordan goes back, comes over here, quickly throws it out to the flat. Once again, Yates pulls it in.
It was a long throw, guys, for a gain of 1. Good pressure by the Hornet D.
Lorick to the near side of the field, yet still in at running back. Gain of 1. 2nd down and 9. Hornets jump. Free play. Go down the middle of the field. Take it out of the air with great hands, and they're going to call it a catch. What a beautiful catch by Joshua Lorick.
Yeah, he came down out of bounds, Mark. But that's okay. Official says he came down inbounds, and they're going to call it a completed pass at the 45.
Ryan Osborn agrees with you. Ryan, you saw the same thing?
Yeah, I did. I saw an entire foot out of bounds.
The official saw it differently, so, you know, unless we can stop the game, one of you run down there and tell them they're wrong here on SportsNetUSA.net. First down and 10 at the 45. El Camino says, well, let's play tag. We're coming back. Big over the thing. Got to go down, and he does. Smart play by the quarterback. Because many times, Corey, you'll watch people like Jordan say, I'll pick it up and run with it, get hit or drop it, and somebody else recovers it.
And that's a 21-yard loss. I mean, it's 2nd down and what you say, Tustin? I mean, they're headed back to Tustin, Mark.
Surprised that Fullerton's not going to use any timeouts. They've got 3 left.
Remember, they get the ball in the start the second half.
So they stopped the clock officially to change footballs with 45 to go. The Hornets up by 6, 16-10 on a back and forth game. They'll start the clock when the whistle blows.
So they're saying that was a football's fault on that bad snap.
Jordan goes back, run a screen pass to Lorick. Lorick cuts the outside, gets tripped up at the last second, and once again, he had room to run if he doesn't get tripped up.
Christian Cross does the tripping, and again, set up perfectly on that screen. Jeremiah McNeely read it, but the blockers out in front picked him off.
Brendan Hodge to the far side of the field. Lorick to the near side of the field. Jabari Hughes Jr. in the slot on the far side of the field. 3rd down and 14. Once again, a bad snap. The quarterback takes off. It's 1-on-1. Up, stays on his feet, turns the corner, and then runs out of bounds short of a first down with 2.6 seconds left. So El Camino at the 36, 2.6 seconds. You load it up and throw it as far as you can and hope somebody comes out with it. El Camino decides to call a timeout with 2.6 seconds. It's the Hornets sitting there at 16, El Camino at 10, here on SportsNetUSA.net.
You got a chance. I mean, when you have Lorick making acrobatic catches on this drive, if you get enough time to throw it down there, he's got good athleticism. You might as well throw it up. He's 6 feet, 160 out of Adelanto. And so you got a chance to get something positive.
You know, I ought to let you two guys do maybe like a little presser for the Tourist Bureau of Adelanto. You both have taken time off to go up there more than once.
See, what you do is you go down the 395, make a left at the big tumbleweed, and then once you get to those 3 rocks that you see on your right-hand side, the red ones, not the black ones, but the red ones, you make a right, you'll find yourself in Adelanto.
That public announcement was by Ryan Osborn here on SportsNetUSA.net. 4th down, half a yard, 2.6 seconds. They're going for the zone. Here they come. Pressure up the middle. Jordan goes back there, flings it across the middle of the field. Taken right there. Somebody needs to make a tackle. They do, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. No hankies on the field. Everybody's running off. So with no more time here in this first half, it's Fullerton 16, El Camino 10 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, we have had a busy week, you and I. We've done a little water polo. We've done volleyball. I just did volleyball last night for Cyprus. I was out there doing soccer for Cyprus on SportsNetUSA.net. Both those two teams ranked in the top 10. But you were here at home with Fullerton College doing a little volleyball, an amazing volleyball match for them. And then you've got water polo and volleyball right around the corner next week on 90.1 KBPK.
Yeah, I just want to take a quick second to talk about the volleyball team here at Fullerton College. Like Mark mentioned, you know, had the opportunity with KBPK to cover the volleyball team on campus with a live stream on Wednesday night. And one thing that was interesting with this volleyball team, when they ended up facing an opponent in Golden West College at home, they end up winning in 3 straight sets. Now, going into that matchup, a lot of people looked at it, Golden West and Fullerton, and said both of these two teams are extremely evenly matched. You kind of look at both sides, evenly matched in kills, within about 50 kills of a difference between both Golden West and Fullerton. Digs right about the same. Attack percentage within 0.01% of each other. They were both right up there with one another in the stats overall. So you take a look at the Orange Empire Conference standings and stats. You looked at it and you said, okay, this has to be an evenly matched or an evenly, we'll say, talented match between both of those two. Well, you take a look at the first set. Fullerton's down 17-8 at one point. They bring it all the way back, and they win the first set, 26-24. They win the next set, 25-18, and the third set, 25-22. They never allowed Golden West to have the opportunity to be in that match between Fullerton and Golden West. So what looked initially like it was going to be an even-keeled matchup between both sides turned very lopsided very quickly, and now all of a sudden Fullerton has found themselves with wins in 2 of their last 3 in Orange Empire Conference play. They beat Riverside on the 21st with a 3-1 final. They did end up dropping to Saddleback 3-0, but Golden West, they beat them 3-0. So 2 out of the last 3 matches that they have played in Orange Empire Conference opportunities, they have won, which is huge for Fullerton College. It brings their overall record to 6-8, and they have a big matchup against Santa Ana, who they've yet to play so far this season. That will be on October the 5th at 6 p.m., and then they are home against Santiago Canyon, who's starting to kind of work their way more into the Orange Empire Conference with their volleyball team. So taking a look at both of those two, Fullerton, Santa Ana, Santiago Canyon, you got to look at it from the stance of Coach Nilufar Mojab, who is In her first season as the head coach of the Fullerton College Hornets, she took over initially as the beach volleyball coach to start, takes over and says, you know what, we're going to institute a brand new program, brand new style here at Fullerton College, just to see what we can really offer these student athletes, not only for the brand new student athletes coming to Fullerton College, but also the returners as well. It's a great opportunity for her at beach volleyball to familiarize herself with whoever was currently in the program for Fullerton College, and she did so successfully. Introduced herself to the program, introduced herself to her returners, and a lot of her returners credit her for being able to go out there and make herself familiar with everyone on the roster. And it helped them out going into their training camp and also their preseason play. So as a first season head coach of indoor volleyball, now not only does she get her first collegiate win under her belt, but she gets her first Orange Empire Conference win under her belt, which is consistently ranked as one of the top volleyball conferences in all of the state of California. So for Fullerton College, they have a new head coach in indoor, in outdoor as well, and they end up winning 2 out of 3 in conference, getting set to take on Santa Ana and Santiago Canyon. And just very quickly as well, also want to mention, prior to that win over Riverside, they were pretty close to beating Cypress. At one point, they had a lead in that match in a game that Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland got to see. Fullerton College had control of that match. So a very young team, a very new team for Fullerton College with Coach Mojam, but yet they are still getting their opportunities and starting to get those rewards with wins.
Yeah, when you look at volleyball in general, nobody's really running away with it. I mean, at Irvine Valley, I believe, is 4-0 right now, Ryan. Everybody else is sitting there around 2-2. So it's a close thing. This last Friday night, Cypress, in 3 sets, took care of the Riverside Tigers and in an impressive set. So Cypress looks like they're getting better. Fullerton looks like they're getting better. I think at the tail end of the season, it's going to be real interesting to see all these teams match up to each other in volleyball and see who wins, who loses, and who ends up being invited to the tournament at the end of the year.
What's interesting when you mention that and those teams getting better, number 2 through number 7 on the list in terms of standings are separated by a game. That's it, in conference, just a singular game. Orange Coast 3-1, Orange Coast 3-2, and Golden West is 2-3. So all of a sudden you look at it and you say, hey, you know what, if you get one result, one set that goes your way, you're looking at being in the top 4 in the Orange Empire Conference because these teams feast upon one another.
Yeah, and when you look at them, they're all very talented. The thing that I found real interesting is you did interviews with the volleyball team, and they all talked about attitude, mental attitude. I had the pleasure of talking to Cypress because I got there early yesterday, and we talked about that too. It is a theme with the volleyball teams, is attitude and mental attitude, that they seem to lose focus when they're up by 2, and you talked at length with the coach and the players about that at Fullerton College. I just sort of find that amazing that trend just runs through the ladies volleyball programs.
What's interesting is I talked to Ann Mayfield and asked her about her team and what they do to build that chemistry, what they do so that way they make sure that they have the ability to come back in matches like we saw against Riverside. And the first thing that she mentioned is the focus on mental health for Fullerton College athletes. So I decided, you know what, that's a good topic to be able to go into. Let's expand on that. Talk to her a little bit more about that mental health. And as we continued, she started talking about how her team has the opportunity each and every day to practice. But sometimes if the practice isn't going well, or maybe the season isn't going well, and they got a couple of losses back-to-back earlier on in the season, the coach will look at them and say, you know what, today's practice will not be a practice. Today, we're just going to get to know each other a little bit better. We're going to take a mental health day. We're going to meditate. We're also going to envision having success as well. And they'll take the entire day. Instead of having practice, they'll take the entire day to just go out and make sure that they are mentally healthy and mentally right. Make sure that they're caught up on their studies as well. Make sure that they are keeping one another accountable. That was interesting to me. So we talked a little bit more about that and got to learn more about the team. Then you switch it over to this last week on the Coaches Show, and we had Holden Remy talking to assistant coach Deanna Schneier. And Coach Schneier actually has a book that's just about the mental health of athletes. Holden got to talk to her, and the more that they talked, the more you learned just how important it is for these for these student athletes to have mental health opportunities. Because a lot of times what you'll hear in the news is you'll hear, oh, well, student athletes need more mental health. It's beneficial for them. Does anyone do anything about it? No. But these coaches are changing that tide. They're making sure that they let these student athletes know, if you need help mentally, if you need someone to confide in, if you need someone in terms of counseling as well, they'll not only help you, they'll not only be that person, but they'll also make sure that you find the resources that you need if you need a little bit more. And it's refreshing to see from a coaching staff, not just looking at a student athlete and saying, oh, you need help? Well, find a teammate. I'm sure a teammate or a family member will be able to help you. Instead, you're looking at these coaches and the coaching staff at Fullerton College saying, these student athletes need us. Not just help, they need us. So they go out and they make sure that each of these athletes has the opportunity to talk to these coaches one-on-one. They have the opportunity to be able to heal mentally as well before each match and also in between each match. And it's changing the way that Fullerton College athletics kind of views how these student athletes progress each and every day.
Well, it's interesting that you say that too, because when you talk about the female athletes, which you will hear a lot being talked about here on sportsnetusa.net and 90.1 KBPK, because we do a lot of sports that are related to the female athletes out there. And you look at volleyball as one of those sports, but Ryan, you've got another sport of female athletes that is tough as that coach is, as much as we love him, as tough as that coach is, I sort of feel he has that same theme that you're talking about right now in Gabe Martinez when he deals with his female athletes in the sport of water polo.
So the phrase that always got me when I talk to the student athletes at water polo at Fullerton College, especially the alumni, is they say, we hate him while we're in the pool, but he is one of the best people you will ever know. And I asked one of their student athletes to expand on that. Hey, can you tell me why it is that there's such a difference with Coach Gabriel Martinez? And she said, you know, I was at a university just a few years ago. I started my career there, didn't have the experience I wanted. Wasn't what I was looking for in terms of play style, wasn't what I was looking for in terms of coaching staff. But then I come over to Fullerton College because I heard of Gabriel Martinez's work ethic that he has his athletes go through. When you're in the pool, you hear Gabriel Martinez talking to his team, addressing his team, sometimes raising his voice because he's passionate about the game that he teaches. But when you're out of the pool, he tells you, you know what, anything that you need, help-wise, you need study help, you need mental health aspects, you need support, he'll go out and he himself will find the opportunity or find the resources for that person, that student athlete that he is teaching. So when you're in the pool, you look at him and you say, man, he's driving us and he's making sure that we're going out and having these excruciating practices. But then out of the pool, he is a human being to these people, which you don't hear a lot of times from coaches who are coaching student athletes at the collegiate level. You'll hear people who go, oh yeah, he was a big-time coach. Oh, he had the attitude of a coach. But you don't hear the fact that a coach turns into a different person and can separate those two between coach and person who needs to help his student athletes who are under his direction.
We're at the half right now where Fullerton is up over El Camino 16-10. Ryan Osborn and I are talking about a couple coaches that have been interviewed on the Coaches Show with Ryan Osborn on 90.1 KBPK. Before I let you leave water polo, We've been out there. We've watched the team defending national champions from years past. You know what quality's out there. So I'm going to ask you right now, does he have the team to bring home another one of these, a national championship ring?
You know what? I will say yes for two reasons. One, because you look at the way that this team is built, they have two primary scorers who can attack at any time, one in the flat and one on the wing, which is very crucial considering that each time that Coach Gabriel Martinez in 2014 and 2019 that he has won a national championship, he has had two primary scorers, one in the flat and one in the wing. He has an excellent goalkeeper, and he has swimmers who have the ability to outswim other people. And what I mean by that is that, yes, he has made sure that his teams in the past can outswim other people, but that the key word there is can. When it comes to this team, you'll watch them, and especially against Cyprus the other day, they had the ability to swim around and swim laps around their opponents. We saw it in the matchup against Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara continually goes to the Final Four in the state of California with ease, and yet Fullerton College shut them down because they swam around them. They had the speed to get by them, and they're able to stretch into transition very well. This team is built the exact way that we saw 2014 and 2019 national championship teams be built as well. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, he said so.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the side stroke and get the heck out of your way so you can finish up. You're at the half with Ryan Osborn, as right now Fullerton is over El Camino 16-10 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
So you take a look at a little bit more sports around the state of California. We were just talking about water polo, just talking about volleyball, and now we're going to take a look at football once more. Quickly, we're going to go over the rankings, keep it in the top 10 for right now. Riverside City College with 14 first-place votes. Rightfully so, they are number one, and they have dominated other squads. They beat Golden West College last week, which was a huge result in the state of California, and it shook things up and kept Riverside City College at number one. College of San Mateo is sitting at number 2 with a 4-0 record, and a team that coming into the season was actually ranked a lot lower than we thought they should have been here at SportsNetUSA.net. Mount Sac is now at number 3 in the state. They are also 4-0. They've put on some really impressive results over the last 4 weeks of play. Cerritos, who beat Fullerton College earlier this season, they sit 4-0, so they move to number 4 in the state. That means that 3 of the top 4 in the state of California are from Southern California. And right behind them, Laney and Butte. Laney is the team that finishes off the string of 4-0 teams, Butte at 3-1. City College of San Francisco tied for 6th. Remember, they were number 1 and undisputed almost as the number 1 team in the state. Going into last week, they end up getting a loss last week, and they're actually going to be a name that you hear a lot more in just a couple of moments as we go over the out-of-town scoreboard. Golden West sits at number 8, and then Fullerton at number 9 with Ventura right behind them, who lost last week. Ventura had a couple of first-place votes stretched across the first 4 weeks of play, but all of a sudden, with a loss, they dropped down to number 10. So that is the out-of-town rankings as we get set to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboards. Well, we'll start things off in Northern California, where Foothill and Redwoods, well, the last we heard, they were 36-36 going into the final of the 4th quarter, and that's where they sit at the moment. Down here in Southern California, Mount San Jacinto and Orange Coast played to a 31-0 final for Mount San Jacinto. That game ended around 4 p.m. Modesto and American River, 2 different teams that, well, everyone thought were going to finish in the top 5 at least because Modesto had such a great season last year. But neither team has really gotten the start they've wanted. American River is sitting at 2-3, Modesto at 1-4. And American River gets a win, 29-28. as the final, and American River goes 2-3, while Modesto goes down to 1-4, so that will certainly knock them outside the top 25. Butte and San Mateo, a final as San Mateo beats Butte 28-21, a one-touchdown score in between both of those two sides, and San Mateo is definitely going to be getting some looks at possibly getting number one once again because they beat Butte. And San Mateo goes to 5-0 this season, and Butte goes to 3-2. Sacramento City beats Shasta 23-7, and Santa Rosa and Reedley. Reedley once again getting back into the win column, 23-13. But the biggest result so far in the state is San Francisco dropping their game to Sierra College. And Sierra goes to 4-1 this season with a 14-10 win, shutting out San Francisco in the second half. So a big-time win for Sierra. They go to 4-1. San Francisco, who was number one through the first 3 weeks of the season and defending national champion, they end up dropping their second straight game. Riverside just barely squeaks by College of the Canyons. College of the Canyons had 15 points in the final 6 minutes of play to win 31-28 by a field goal. Riverside ends up getting that one over top of College of the Canyons. Real quick, Mount Sac continues to stay undefeated. They move up to 5-0, 48-7, as they beat Allen Hancock. That's a final. And current games in play, Ventura and Saddleback, 21-15. Ventura with the lead at the end of the first half. And Golden West Long Beach, 24-7. They lead it at the end of the first half as well, which brings us back to our current game. Fullerton and El Camino, it's 16-10 as we get set for the second half of play. So we'll bring it back over to the voices of Fullerton College football, Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich. You take a look at the first half stats between both of these two sides. Well, nothing that really stands out.
No.
You know what I get a kick out of? The youngster over here says, I'm going to bring you back to the voices of Fullerton College football or Fullerton College sports. I don't know. I think we're a trio because, you know, at the end of the day, with all the games I do with Mr. Osborn, if I had a penny for every time he said something, well, my retirement would be set for life here on Sportsnet, USA.net. But right now, if you're a Hornet fan, you're up by 6. You're going to get the football. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, I think this first drive is important on this field. I don't believe you want to have a shootout here at Fullerton again against El Camino.
Even though nothing stood out stat-wise in that first half of play, Fullerton, as the coach has verified, they were really the dominant team in that first half. Other than that Santana Feast run of 60 yards, it's really Fullerton has been really controlling the ball game. That run electrified the Warriors and got them, competitive and staying competitive in the second half. If Fullerton's offense can click and get in a rhythm, then it may be an entire different story in the second half. And Mark, you're absolutely right. This first drive is important for the Hornets.
Back deep will be Michael Love and Christian Stewart back there. And Ryan Osborn, this is a time offensively the Hornets have to be productive every time they touch the ball.
Well, I think you mentioned it when you came back from the half, is that this first drive coming out of the half is going to be crucial for Fullerton College because they have to be able to assert themselves. You go up 2 scores right out of halftime, and all of a sudden you're saying, okay, we've got not necessarily a stranglehold, but we're in a nice position going into the rest of the third quarter. If Fullerton can get themselves on the board, it's going to be crucial.
Stewart takes it, looks to go to the outside, stays on his feet, refuses to go down, crosses the 40. Beautiful return all the way to the 44. Is that a hanky sitting there at the 25?
Yes, it is. It's going to negate a 30-yard return.
So there's a flag at the 25. We'll see who that's against. Having a conversation out there. They look like they want to go against the Hornets. White hat looks over to see where the hanky's at. And they're saying it's from the 30. Holding against the Hornets. So they say it took place at the 30-yard line. And they move it all the way back to the 15. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hornets at the 15-yard line. Josh Calvin comes back out at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr. having an excellent half.
Holding is a 10-yard penalty, right?
That's what I thought. Holding was a 10-yard penalty. Originally, they had it at the 25 is where the flag was.
Okay.
So it's not a 15-yard. It's only a 10-yard penalty. That's originally where the flag was at. Tyrell Green Jr. gets it and gets smothered.
And again, Lando Brown being a disruptive force in the backfield for the Warriors makes that stop the first negative run for Tyrell Green Jr. in this game. That offensive line for the Hornets still Medelis, Peroni, Silva, Garcia, and Medina up front.
Gibson and Stewart to the near side of the field. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Tyrell Green at running back. Calvin is going to get hit. Gets away from that. Staggers away from 2. Stays on his feet and then goes down at the 20.
And he comes up limping. Helmet comes off. He'll have to sit out at least one play, and Nunez is going to come in for him.
And Corey Neyland's right. He's limping coming off. It's almost like his ankle gave way. We'll see if anybody takes care of him. So Trainer is going to get called down there. Nunez comes in the game. 3rd down and 5, though, after the run. Nunez now in at quarterback for the Hornets. Goes back, throws it over the flat, cuts back in the middle. Can't get enough for a first down, and El Camino stops the Hornets on their first drive.
And that first possession of the second half belonged to Lando Brown, the defensive end for the Warriors. He sits 5'11", 230 out of J. Sarah High School in Gardena. He was disrupted on the first play, flushed Calvin out of the pocket on the second play, and then trips up Tyrell Green Jr.
Joshua Lorick will be back for El Camino. He'll stand at about the 43-yard line. El Camino trailing by 6 here at the start of the second half on SportsNetUSA.net. Big pressure. Lorick's going to look at it. It's going to let it hit. Take somebody. Go after it. Picks it up. Turns the corner. Lorick goes down the field. Nobody wants to stop him. Down at the 18, there's a flag on the field. And maybe that flag is going to help the Hornets get good defensive field position.
Yeah, that's a push in the back or a crackback block that occurred on that left sideline, that far sideline. So that's going to bring it back. And while we're figuring out what that is, Rodney Tye, Justin Harris, Wesley Widmer, offensive line for the Warriors, Raymond O'Keefe, and Trey Brooks Hawkins. So they're the offensive line unit for the Warriors stepping out on the field.
So they called it a blindside block. It takes it to midfield. Jordan comes back out at running back. Brian Santana Feast in at running back. First down and 10 at the 50 for El Camino. They hand it to Santana Feast. Gets a gain of 3 on the play.
Chris Harms was there to make the stop. He's Fullerton's leading tackler this season.
Hurry up offense. 2nd down and 7. They fake it to Lorick. They're going straight down. Middle of the field should be a flag. No flag on the play. There was a grab by a jersey, Corey, and the receiver was flung to the ground. It's almost like somebody grabbed a Babe Ruth candy bar and stuck it in his back pocket.
It was a grab and a fling and a yank, and there was no call on that play. So Fullerton gets away with one, avoids a 15-yard penalty, and to bring up 3rd and 7 instead of 1st and 10.
3rd down and 8.
And Mark, again, that yank wasn't even necessary because Kadari Kearns was in excellent position.
Jabari Hughes Jr. over here to the right side of the field. Go down the middle of the field. Dropped right in the money. Touchdown, El Camino on a missed tackle.
And again, another thing that Fullerton College coach Brian Crooks told us the other day is we need to be able to tackle, not just hit somebody, but tackle, meaning hit somebody and wrap up to bring him down. That seam route was perfectly run on a perfect pass to Yates, excuse me.
So El Camino ties the game. They're a missed extra point by the Hornets. So if they make this, they'll go up 17-16. So defense again tries to look spectacular. Well, you know what? It's that sort of day that no matter what haircut you got, you're not popular. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the defense is letting the Hornets down in this entire game. Their tackling is not good. Oh, you're shaking your head no? Come on, man.
Yeah, they've been letting them down on tackling. They've had a good game except for 2 plays.
Which contributed on those 2 plays, Ryan Osborn, to 14 points.
Yes, but that's not the entire game. They've had a good, solid game except for those 2 plays because they couldn't tackle. That long run by Santana Feast, you try to wrap up high and knock him down, didn't happen. You try a bowling ball technique here, bad play. The rest of that first half was solidly played.
I would have said donuts after the game, but after that answer, I think you go on a sugar-free diet for the next 6 years.
It's hard being right up here all the time.
I thank you. Now you understand my situation.
I'm closer to the microphone.
Ryan Osborn, your technical director, he looked at your answer and was trying to pot you down.
Listen, all I can say is he might be closer to the microphone. I'm closer to the end stream button.
Hornets down by 1. That's kicked well into the end zone.
No, but Mark, when you go back and look at it, you were talking right out of halftime, and you said the first drive for the Hornets is going to be the catalyst for Fullerton College. They go 3 and out and turn it around to El Camino, who immediately puts points on the board. You said it right after the halftime. If Fullerton College can't come out and control this game, it's going to be an issue. And that's what we've seen here in the first few minutes.
Nunez comes back out at quarterback for the Hornets. So he's down by 1 with 11:59 to go here in the second half.
Check out the safeties, Mark.
Up tight, the line of scrimmage, looking for the run. Nunez, middle of the field, throws it to Michael Love. Michael Love stays on his feet, gets across the 40, down to the 42. Good call if the quarterback changed it at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, gain of 17, and that there was 9 in the box, Mark. And again, came up, fired through. Michael Love, strong body, strong position, makes the catch and gain.
First down and 10 at the 44. Cameron Wood goes in motion. Tyrell Green Jr. holds on to it, gets a gain of 3 on the play, up to the 47.
And he's got 11 carries. The first half stat said he only had about 50 yards rushing. I'm going to say he's closer to 75 yards rushing unofficially, possibly 80.
I had a coach tell me unofficially 97.
Then I'm going to go with that. He's at 100 yards after a gain of 3.
Second down and 7. Nunez brings him back out. Hornets trailing by 1. They run the pitch to Malik Winston. Malik gets hit in the backfield. the pitch play that worked against Allen Hancock has not worked tonight.
But you know what? Credit to Malik on that one. He gets hit initially 4 yards in the backfield, bounces off of it, keeps his legs churning, and is able to at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but Aaron House and Antonio Murillo, they were there not letting him go further or farther than the line of scrimmage. And I still think that play is setting up for a quick hitter.
Gibson to the near side of the field. Here comes the pressure. Nunez finds Gibson. Gibson steps out of bounds, but it's a completion because he caught it, then stepped out. So it's a first down for the Hornets.
Gain of 10. Gibson, 2 catches. Make it 3 catches this evening.
So first down and 10 at the 42. Tyrell Green Jr. still in. Gibson to the near side of the field. They're going to mark it right at, well, they're saying the 43. I'm going to call it the 44 is where it looks closer to. Nunez goes back, goes to Gibson again. Catches it again. Gets it, takes it down all the way to the 36.
Again, creates a strong target for your quarterback. Nunez is 6'5", out of Mesa, 225. He hits Gibson, who blocks out like a rebounder in basketball and makes that catch.
Broy, Koenig to the far side of the field. He gives it to Tyrell Green Jr. Tyrell Green Jr. runs over the defensive back, refuses to go down. Ryan Osborn, that one was for you.
Which is exactly what he said he likes to do when he goes to the outside. When he goes to the outside, he said it himself. He will find the nearest guy and go into them to eliminate them.
And that was DJ Morgan, who met Mr. Green on the outside. He picks up 24 yards. Yeah, we're just going to say he's over 100 yards again.
First down and 10 at the 11. A time knockdown.
So the play on the inside was to Green. That was called. Nunez didn't pull it out. Way down in the end zone or near the end zone. You don't want to make a mistake here. As you're down by 1, you want to make sure you get a score on this drive.
So second down and 8 at the 10. Tyrell Green still there. Gibson to the left. Broy and Koenig to the right. He looks to the right side of the field, throws it in Broy's direction, and both defensive backs come up on the first back going on a short little out pattern. The other receiver goes deep to the end zone, and Nunez makes up his mind early who he's going to. It's going to be a third down.
And they can pick up the first down without scoring. Nunez is a gifted runner. So if he pulls it down, he has the capability of picking up much yardage.
Big third down with 8:44 to go here in the third quarter. Here comes the pressure. Once again, throws it in the flat, gets hit, Cameron Woods, and he's going to be taken down at the 5. So Corey Neyland's going for the touchdown. Ryan Osborn's going for the touchdown. We'll see what the Hornets decide.
Be aggressive on it. Go and get this football game.
C.J. Broy comes in. Koenig goes to the far side of the field. Gibson to the near side of the field. 4th and 4. The Hornets can get a first. They look over to the sidelines. Cameron Stewart in the slot. They go back. They look. Interception at the goal line. And so the Hornets and Tyrell Green is not happy.
And it was just a poor throw picked off by Fred Martin, who was standing there at the goal line. And Nunez didn't really have an open receiver, made up his mind to throw the ball. Big Warrior stop as Fullerton was driving.
So the Warriors with 7:50 to go and up by 1 take control in this third quarter. Jordan comes out looking to find that dagger that he can drive into a Hornet. We get motion, no flag against El Camino. Defense is telling us it's a run up here. We'll see if that's what they do. El Camino, straight up the middle one more time. Defense, couple. Gain, they're going to give him a loss of a half a yard, and we have a player down on the field. So with 7:38 to go, it's El Camino 17, Fullerton 16 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And the reason why you didn't kick it on that is because you already had one blocked and an extra point missed. So I'm fully okay with going for it there, just an unfortunate result.
So with 7:38 to go here at the start of the second half, well, El Camino takes the lead. The Hornets tried to get back in, moved down the field methodically, some great runs by Tyrell Green Jr., a couple passes to Gibson, and then 3 consecutive pass plays down by the goal line, and they come away with nothing. So we'll see if the defense now by Brian Crooks can find maybe that miracle turnover or that stop that allows the Hornets to get the ball back in good field position with 7:38 to go. Here in the second half of the third quarter. Lots of time left in this game.
And Jeremiah McNeely is the injured Hornet at the 20-yard line. Let's hope he's okay. He's had a magnificent season as a freshman coming in. 5'11" out of San Antonio.
Good turnout tonight for the Hornets. They've got a great crowd out here, up and down on both sides. And El Camino across the way has a nice turnout for their team. I want to say hi to my doppelganger, Freddie Dreyer. Fred, sorry I didn't see you today. I know you and I are looking younger every day of the week. And Fred, I know how you feel. I have jealousy from Corey and Ryan. They just look at me and go, my God, you look so great. You're in absolute perfect shape. Big second down. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Gets a gain of 5 on the play. It's going to bring up a tough 3rd down and 5 right at the 25. Jordan in at quarterback. Running back, Stephen Bradford Jr. Big 3rd down and 5. Jordan tries to get them to jump. Looks over to the bench. 1-on-1 on the outside. No deep coverage to help out. They decide, go back the other direction. Knocked down, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. But a nice defensive play to knock down the pass, because it was 1-on-1 on the far side of the field in the flat. And so the defense did what they had to do, and hopefully they will give the Hornets good field position as Koenig goes back for this punt.
And that was LeBaron Kennedy Jr., who batted the ball down, his first bat down this season.
Koenig will stand at the 36. Adam Saul gets ready, punts it away. Koenig signals for a fair catch, backpedals, and they're going to get him down at the 26-yard line.
And that's a 49-yard kick.
I'm going to tell you, Ryan Osborn, what were you saying when we were watching warm-ups about their punter?
He has an excellent leg because he was routinely putting up 55 and 60-yard punts with ease.
So we're looking at Taj Gregory now in at quarterback for the Hornets. So Taj Gregory, who we haven't seen for a while, now comes into the game. 1st down and 10. Taj Gregory keeps it, turns the corner, stays on his feet. Ball comes out, fumble. El Camino picks it up, turnover.
Vea Manu with the recovery, and Koa Carroll Koa Carroll causes the strip off of Gregory, and Manu picks it up, rumbles for a few yards, and again, at Warriors in big territory. Mark said the first drive was important. Nothing happened. The second drive drove, doesn't come to any fruits. Third drive in this second half, fumble in their own territory. El Camino is coming back. You got to feel confident if you're a Warrior at this junction.
Dead ball unsportsmanlike conduct against El Camino and the Hornets. So they offset first down for El Camino on a turnover. First time Taj Gregory carries the ball, he fumbles it, and now they're in the kitchen. They're getting ready to open up the refrigerator and take the last of the pudding from the Hornets with 6:37 to go here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Jordan comes back. Straight dive fit all the way up. The young man has been there all night long. Stephen Bradford Jr. Gets a gain of 4 on the play.
And here's where the Hornets need to be that bend but don't break defense. And the Warriors realize they're in a great position to run this ball, run out clock in the third quarter.
Brian Santana Feast in as the deep running back.
And I love the lineup. I love the formation they're in.
They switch the backs. We're going to get timeout. We can hear El Camino down the way telling them they're lined up wrong. And so we get a timeout with 5:52 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Warriors 17, the Hornets 16 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, you talk about the formation. That's a formation they have used multiple times this night. Why do you like it so much?
Because it reminds me of 1972. No, I'm kidding. No, it's an old school formation, but it's not under center. It's powerhouse backfield where you have those two up backs and then one deep back. It's like an inverted wishbone. And so you have options galore to run out of it. And they're running well out of it because you see the zone blocking that is opening up those holes and not creating those gaps. Those linebackers who are going to have a big game today aren't able to feel right now. So Harm, Tita Noir, and Gaines really need to step up, especially on this possession, and really hold the Warriors to a field goal attempt.
They come back out. Jordan at quarterback. Brian Santana Feast, a running back, had the big 60-yard run. They hand it to the big back, goes to the outside, steps out of a tackle, gets taken down at the 8. Is it enough for a first down? They're going to move it on. First down, first and goal for El Camino. Oh, they're going to say he's short?
Yeah, they're going to keep it at third down. So.
Okay. Jumbo package for El Camino comes in the game. Direct snap. They hand it off to Feast, up the middle. He chugs his way. The Hornets tackle him from behind. He isn't down yet, and they finally rule him down at the 4. But now it's first and goal for El Camino with 5 minutes left in this third quarter. The Hornets trailing by 1, fumble the ball, and El Camino says, hey, you know what? You're right, guys. We need to take control and just end this game right now. Direct snap again. They go again. Big man refuses to go down. The pile tries to move him. They're going to mark him down at the 2. And so just keep doing that because he's getting 2 yards a carry. Second down and goal from the 2. They look over. Same lineup.
Here's where you might want to remove the feet of the offensive lineman if you're on defense, submarine, and have your linebackers come up over the top.
Brian Santana Feast runs over one, runs over two, and is finally called down at the 2.
And the dude out of St. Thomas More High School in New Jersey, he's a strong, solidly built guy, 6 feet, 215, and he runs hard.
So they have a flag against El Camino.
So we've seen two powerful backs, but run a little bit differently. And then Santana Feast, who's using his legs and his strength and to bully people. Tyrell Green does the same thing, and his is more an angrier attack on the run, but they're both effective.
So back in a quarterback is going to be Jordan. Comes back in. So they're going to move the ball outside the 10. Second down and goal outside the 10-yard line. Throwing it over here. We get flag on the play.
So if it's a hold, that's the first down. If it's pass interference, argument can be held for an uncatchable pass. But it depends on what the call is.
Pass interference. So pass interference against the Hornets.
And Kearns did have a hold of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So you can't really fault the flag. But the problem is the catchability of the ball.
So it's going to be first and goal now from the 5, and the clock is ticking, and this is the other thing that you look at. The Hornets don't want to go down at 8 going into the fourth quarter. Here they come. Straight dive. Touchdown, El Camino.
And so with the score, it looks like if this extra point goes through, they will be down 8 with their starting quarterback not fit for duty after that, limping off in the field, grabbing the backside of his leg. But again, Fullerton's offense hasn't looked horrible. Turnovers, untimely, but they haven't looked horrible. The turnovers looked horrible, but they have been moving the ball.
So Corey Neyland looking for, ball is spotted, kick is up, kick is blocked. So the Hornets block it, they stay within 7.
Return short for Kearns, who picked up that pass interference call that led to the Bradford 3-yard run.
So Michael Love going back deep with him, Kristen Cross. So Michael Love and Cross back deep for the Hornets here on sportsnetusa.net.
Both excellent speed. Love has a 73-yard return, not for a touchdown, but that was or is his long return of the season.
So the Hornets trail by 7 with 3:54 to go. El Camino looking for the potential upset game here at Fullerton High School District Stadium. Love's going to take it 4 yards deep, brings it out, full speed, gets hit at the 20. And 43 is all over the Hornet. And a teammate comes running over and says, don't do anything. The official comes over and says, guys, just separate, which they do. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 20-yard line with 3:48 to go. It's the Warriors 23, the Hornets 16 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Nunez back into the game. Tyrell Green Jr. in at running back. Trailing by 7. Nunez goes back, has time, goes deep, throws it up in the air. Koenig comes down with it at the 48. Big time, big K for the Hornets. He always seems to make the big reception.
What you like about that is he turns, boxes out his defender, and brings up 2 hands. Doesn't just allow that football to come down to him. He boxes him out, gets body positioning, and takes the football away.
First down and 10 at the 49. Tyrell Green Jr. up the middle's going to go down. Scrum is moving him. They're going to give him a gain of 8 on the play. They can mark him down at the 42.
Go back to the throw by Nunez. He threw it to the bucket on the corner. And that's an impressive throw. We'll see if he opens up a little bit more, but you're going to probably see a heavy dose of Tyrell Green Jr.
Second down and 2 at the 42. Throws it over the middle. Bounces off the shoulder pad of Michael Love.
Good recovery by Jonathan Johnson, the cornerback. He stuck a hand in there and deflected that right before it hit that shoulder pad.
Third down and 3. Tyrell Green goes from right to left. Here comes the pressure. Now Green goes in motion. Here it comes. They go to Gibson. Gibson drops it on the other side.
So with 4th and 2, barely into Warrior territory, this is a punt here because the Warrior offense has found kind of a stride. You want to try to pin them back and have the defense make a play to give them some confidence moving into the latter part of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th.
High floater. Gonna hit. Take a bounce for the Hornet. They're gonna mark it down at the 10. With 2:39 to go, it's the Warriors 23, the Hornets 16. The Hornets are down by 7. They need to find some defense and some offense here on Sportsnet USA.net.
I want to thank everybody listening and joining us and watching here on Sportsnet USA.net. Austin, Texas in the house. CJ Broy Fan Club, thank you for joining us.
Jordan comes back out at quarterback, at running back. Stephen Bradford Jr. in there. Big first down and 10 at the 10. Stephen Bradford Jr. gets hit, stood up, gain of 3 on the play.
And that's Marcellus Gaines with the stand-up, brings him down. Marcellus Gaines missed a few games because of injury. And now he's back. He's trying to solidify that defense. Tough going here.
They flip people over. Laura goes through the slot on the far side of the field. The young man's got great hands. Run the play again. Gain across the 15. They're going to mark him at the 17. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. We're at the 2-minute mark. Here in the 3rd quarter, the Hornets trailing by 7. The defense needs to find an answer on this play. Stephen Bradford Jr. having a great night at running back. Little drop. Stephen Bradford Jr. doesn't have it. Quarterback holds on to it, takes it himself, goes out of bounds, and then we have flags at the 30. So Corey and Ryan are saying it's against El Camino.
There was a hold in the backfield that's going to bring it back, and you thought you saw a push in the back on the run.
But they're going to walk it back with 1:35 to go.
So great play action fake, though. I mean, he put the ball into Bradford, and the way he's been running, everybody collapsed. Bryce Dunnick runs past Makai Jordan and Jordan gets to the outside to make a play. And we'll see what the hold is.
Pushing the back is what it's called.
That's the decline one. That's the second penalty. The
Holding. So there were 2 penalties on the play. First one declined, second one accepted.
And see the statement from the broadcast. Considering that we saw it as it happened, I knew that.
And that's what I like about you, too. It is what it is, everything you say. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. Defense needs to get there. Defense looks across the field, has to make the tackle, watch the second hit. No flag on the play. The defense stops them with 1:23 to go. Colby Bell caught that coming across. And Bell is stopped immediately. Koenig goes out. He'll stand at the 49.
The last punt by Adam Saul, 49 yards.
We're at the 1 minute mark. Here in the 3rd quarter, the Hornets trailing by 7. They should get it with 50 seconds to go. Clock's down to 3, 2. He gets it off. Big kick again. Koenig looks. There's nobody around him. Catches it at the 50. Goes the outside. It's going to be against the Hornets. It's coming back immediately.
So the hold on Jordan Little on the gunner for the Warriors is going to bring that back. And again, they get a punt that they can handle, Mark. Ryan Koenig does a nice job of advancing up the field in good field position, ready to move forward. But again, they're going to back it up.
36 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. So the Hornets going to have the ball right at the 45. 1st and 10 at the 45. The umpire holds it so all the officials can get in position. Tyrell Green Jr. goes from left to right. Nunez goes back, throws it to Gibson, gets it. They call it a reception. Cross the 40 at the 38. Gain of 8 on the play. 31 seconds left. 2nd down and 2 at the 38. They start the clock. He goes back. 5 consecutive throws down the middle. Caught, dropped.
Gibson tries to make a one-handed catch instead of fighting through the physicalness of the cornerback and trying to rip that arm up to come through, maybe forcing a flag by the official. He can't come up with it. Good throw by Nunez, but a crucial 3rd down and 2. You got to be expecting a run here with Tyrell Green Jr. Let's see if the Warriors do expect to.
3rd down and 2. Tyrell Green Jr. gets the 1st down on a run in the last 6 plays.
And Hornets trying to get some help out here on offense.
We're down to 5 seconds. We should let the clock go all the way down. We'll see if they do. We're at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's head into that 4th quarter with the Warriors up by 7. It's the Warriors 23, the Hornets 16. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy traveling along here on SportsNetUSA.net. And we walk into the 4th quarter. Well, guys, I'm throwing it at you two because we have been there this year. And you know what? Especially here, it hasn't been a pretty outcome.
Seems eerily similar to 3 weeks ago, does it not?
It does.
Where all of a sudden you see both those two teams kind of feeling each other out, not having the offensive rhythm they'd like. The third quarter turns it around for both teams, and they're able to kind of establish a little bit of an identity, and the Hornets go into the fourth trailing.
And I know Corey Neyland will say if the Hornets score, kick the field goal, tie the game. You know the old guy. Hey, baby, I'm going for the lead when we score this touchdown. I want to look at you and go, at you. I'll take that chance. Oh, man, you should have seen the look I just got. Like, I'm not letting you drive any place.
And
I see the coaches looking down there going, hey, we ought to let this guy call the play. Got two of the coaches sitting next to us.
And this is why Mark is right.
Exactly. Exactly. 1st and 10 at the 35 as we start the fourth quarter down by 7. Tyrell Green stays on his feet down to the 25. Second down and 1. And yes, that quarterback, Tyrell Green, in the backfield. He slips, doesn't get to the line of scrimmage, loss of 1. Brings a third down and a long 4.
And now you're going to see just how athletic Nunez is. You got to be expecting Tyrell Green Jr. again because it's 2-down territory here for Fullerton in good field position.
Man-to-man on the outside. Here comes the pressure. They hand it to Tyrell Green again. Stays on his feet. He is short of a first down. It brings up 4th and a yard at the 26. Nunez back. Tyrell Green. Broy out to the right. Koenig in the slot next to him. El Camino looks over. 13 minutes ago, trailing by 7. Nunez takes it himself. Quarterback keeper runs for the end zone. Corey Neyland said, young man, run the football. You called this earlier where you said he's athletic enough to score.
Yes, and he showed it right there on a 26-yard scamper. And you fake it to Green, that play action. Those runs previously set up that defense because they were salivating for number 13. He keeps around, keeps it on edge. And you saw that in high school in Mesa when he was a senior at Mountain View High School, getting on the edge and showing just enough speed to skirt past defensive backs.
So the Hornets trail by 1. Ball will be spotted at the 10. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 13 minutes to go, well, guys, it's a nail biter. It's up to those defenses to find a way to stop those offenses, and whoever can do it better is going to come out with this victory tonight here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy. Happy to bring you the game tonight here from Fullerton District Stadium. And Corey Neyland, go back to the athleticism of that young man at quarterback because you said the defense bit on the running back.
Yeah, and he showed just enough speed. He was injured last year, so we didn't get a chance to see him, but we knew and we were told that here's a guy, I'm going to use Ryan's terminology, here's a guy that could get on the outside and be creative to make positive plays, and he made the best or his most impactful play as a Hornet on that run.
Weems, and I believe, isn't that Yates?
Yes.
Cross. It's going to come up. Weems is going to take it. Takes it at the 5. The 10. Comes out to the outside. doesn't get back to the 20. So now Brian Crooks, well, Brian said to us when the game started, guys, I'm going to keep it simple for my defense. Now the defense has to go where Brian tells them to go, stay there, and make the tackle when it comes their direction here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And let's see if he tries to force the hand on one or two plays with bringing a little bit of pressure.
Jordan in at quarterback. Stephen Bradford Jr. at running back. Jordan takes it himself, cuts back up the middle, stays on his feet, gets to the 20. He's down at the 20-yard line. We're going to mark him down at the 21.
And it's going to be crucial here as you see these play actions. The ends for the Hornets are going to have to stay at home and allow those linebackers to fill the gaps, because when Jordan comes on the outside, Kennedy Jr. or Hill have to be on the outside waiting for him.
Second down. They hand it off to Stephen Bradford Jr. Keeps running up the field. Once again, Stephen Bradford Jr. running over people. First down and 10 for El Camino.
And watch the gaps that Fullerton has. They're so wide because the splits are extended for the Warriors, and that's what's opening up these holes in this zone blocking scheme.
They hand it off to him again. This time taken down behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 5 on the play.
Tyler Carter disrupted the play. And Stephen Bradford Jr.
is down on the field. And we just got a flag, and I'm going to tell you that's going to be on a blue jersey. No?
Let's hope Bradford Jr. is okay.
You think it's on the quarterback, Ryan?
Yeah, the quarterback was right in the ear of the white hat as the medical staff was coming out onto the field.
Well, what he did is, guys, so we're getting that supposedly by our coaches saying they were talking. Unfortunately for this young man who's been spectacular tonight, Corey, he's gotten up and gotten off the field, because he got sandwiched.
Yeah.
He got sandwiched, and when he laid there, I was like you too. I thought, oh, please, no. We don't need to see this. So we'll see which way they mark it off. It's unsportsmanlike against El Camino. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against El Camino.
So it'll be second down because it was after the play.
Yes.
So it had to be one of those words that you couldn't say on network television back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, and I think the one thing too, Corey, if a word was spoken, it's because the way his running back got hit.
Yeah, so and you got to think it's more frustration than anything.
Well, and it's protecting your teammate too. You know, you think your teammate got hit improperly, you're going to say something. Second down and a trip to L.A. for El Camino. Jordan at quarterback. Looks over. Down low. He's got time to throw it. Middle of the field. Picked at the 35-yard line.
And Max Ahoya was there, and there's an injured Hornet in the backfield, slow to get up.
So we thought it got picked by Maximus. And he went down and got it and then dropped the ball when he caught it. But good defensive play.
Yeah, it was towards his hip, so he tried to get both of his arms on it. Goes right through both of his hands, hits his hip, bounces down, and he catches it on the bounce. So doesn't end up being that interception that I'm sure the Hornets would love, but oh, so close.
So third down at about 30. Brian Crooks says, okay, So quarterback holds on to it himself, gets up to the 25. And so Jordan just tries to add a little something, and now the defense comes up with a big stop, and now it's up to special teams and offense to respond to that with 11:22 to go. Koenig will stand right at the 31. Hornets look over and say, return, block. Here comes the pressure. Koenig says, I've got it. Ball goes off of him, hits the ground, gets picked up. What are they calling? Now we're hearing, we'll see what the officials call because they stopped the play. If it touched him, is it a muff punt that you can't advance? No.
What it looked like initially to me is that he got up to the ball, but just like a shortstop who's not sure where the bounce is going to be, got up to it and at the last second brought his arms back. So he was in the vicinity, bounces away from him, but his arms were close because he was pulling them back.
Remind you of that Super Bowl play from a few years ago that was controversial. El Camino says it definitely touched him. Officials say, not so much.
Tyrell Green Jr. comes in. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Right at the 42. We're knotted up at 23. El Camino comes up. Looking to go down deep, middle of the field. Thrown on the inside. Gibson plays defense because that was a place where the defender was at on the inside of the route.
Yeah, the only person to make that play is the defensive back, and that was Quez Walker, who's had a nice game on the outside, made a few tackles and a couple passes defended.
So we're going to get timeout in the field with 10:46 to go. The Hornets are going to bring people over and discuss it. We're tied at 23. It's the Hornets 23, the Warriors 23 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget, next week, little volleyball and water polo on 90.1 KBPK. And then, guys, we got a bye week coming up, right, Mr.
That's correct.
Osborn?
For the Hornets, there's a bye next Saturday, and then we'll follow it up with a Thursday game against San Bernardino Valley.
So if you're looking for us next week, we'll check the 15 for Corey, the 91 for Ryan, and I'm sorry, I'm not coming out that Saturday.
And scoring update on the other game on SportsNetUSA.net. Cerritos 20, East Los Angeles 20, 1:38 to go in the third quarter.
Second down and 10 for the Hornets at the 40. They come up. Over to Koenig, right across the middle. Sure hands. Gets a first down.
He reminds me a lot of Marcus Grossman, where anything that's in the slot or down the middle will be in his hands, and it will stick to him like glue.
So they move the chains, first down and 10. So Koenig, the big K comes through. Tyrell Green up the middle, gets a gain of 4 as he starts his engine and goes there and picks up a couple. So the Hornets want to get in the end zone with 10 minutes to go. Gibson comes in the game, goes to the far side of the field. C.J. Broy, Koenig on the near side of the field. And then Stewart on the very inside. They get a roll. Nunez steps up. He has to throw it. He does. Throws it to Sure Hands. And Sure Hands gets another first down.
And a good job of keeping the play alive with his legs as he was flushed out of the pocket being chased down by Manu and also House. Didn't panic, stayed poised.
So Koenig gets another one. Malik Winston now in the backfield with Tyrell Green Jr. First down and 10 at the 30. They fake it. Throw to get picked and then dropped And talk about an Easter basket that was waiting for you because the bunny was handing it to you. And boy, a missed opportunity for El Camino.
Fred Martin almost had his second interception of the game. I mean, and you're right, it was floated right to him. And you got to make that catch if you're the Warriors. That changes momentum.
Second down. And this goes back again, across the middle of the field. This time he throws a pick.
And that's Fred Martin again, and he fumbles, but it's recovered by the Warriors on the trailing defender. So Martin intercepts it. Jacob Kololo, after the fumble, is on the turf, picks it up for the Warriors. And another interception by the thrown by a Hornet QB.
So that brings it all the way out to the 49.
And the play before that on the almost interception, I thought they were going to run that little pitch play, but this time handed on the inside to Garnett Davis to try to catch him off guard.
Jordan comes out, trying to get back. The defense trying to chop him. Does that.
Maximus again on the stop. Yet's versatile.
So they keep Yetz in the backfield, along with somebody we haven't heard from for a while, Brian Santana Feast, now in there. I'm surprised he hasn't touched the football.
I'm not, because they have two quality backs, and so they give Feast running, they get Bradford running. If one gets hot, they stay in.
Second down 11. Ball comes out. Quarterback follows up on the play, makes the play, so Jordan recovers it. Third down now at the 45. Loss of a couple. Third down and I'm going to say 14. It looks like nobody wants to win this game with 8:38 to go. Big third down. Brian Crooks, 4-down lineman. And we're going to get a illegal procedure against El Camino on the far side of the field. So we're going to move that back to the 40. So we've got Jordan at quarterback. Stephen Bradford Jr. in at running back. Big third down now and about 20 for El Camino. Defense looks at what's going on, needs to stop him. Here comes the pressure up the middle, throws it over to the flat, off the hands of Bradford. And he couldn't pull it in, Corey Neyland.
Yeah, and it's good to see Bradford back in the ball game. That's what killed Fullerton last year when he came out of the backfield with a couple catches. This time it was a little bit too hot to handle, but pretty good defense by the Hornets to make the stop here. Under 8 minutes to play, give the ball to the offense. And let's see if we see a heavy dose of Green, Winston, and Davis because of the rhythm that they got out of with those passes.
Koenig back deep. Will stand at the 20. Mr. Surehands. He's going to take it. He does. Koenig up the middle. Cuts across the middle. Stay. We got flags, flags, and flags. It's all coming back. Flags on the play. You know what? I will have to say, the FAR referee has called every holding penalty on the field tonight.
Wants to feel part of the action.
Well, we would have let him come up here and say something for about 30 seconds on sportsnetusa.net and then said, okay, that's enough. You can leave. So Corey Neyland, a long field. If you run the ball, you work the clock. Michael Love comes to the near side of the field, the far side of the field. Koenig in the slot. Big first down and 10. Tony Nunez goes back, goes up far side of the field. Love catches it and drops it as it was placed in his hand like a piece of bread. And Michael Love said, I don't like whole wheat, I like rye. Let's put it back on the shelf. Incomplete pass.
And we were expecting run, run, run. They came out. You got to like the confidence the coaches have in Nunez to make that throw on that play. Michael Love, man, you know he's going to want that back. That's an opportunity that you got to have, you got to make.
They hand it straight up the middle. Tyrell Green Jr. gets 3. 3rd down and 7 with 7 minutes to go in this 4th and final quarter of this game here on sportsnetusa.net. Ball's right at the 24. They need to get 4. Here comes the pressure. Going deep again. And this time overthrows his receiver. And so we're going to kick it away from deep in our own territory here on sportsnetusa.net.
So let's see if the defense can hold one more time. Field possession battle here in the last 7 minutes as El Camino now should have excellent field position.
High snap. Kick is away. It's going to hit at the 40. It's going to be downed right at the 49. So with 6:51 to go, well, the defense needs to find something. Hold the line. And El Camino quickly comes out. Joshua Lorick to the near side of the field. Jabari Hughes Jr. in the slot. Jordan at quarterback. 1st down and 10 at the 49. Quarterback's going to run it. Jordan takes it out to the outside. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 48. He's looking for a flag. No flag by the official. Gain of 2 on the play.
It's tight here in Fullerton. It's tight in versus Cerritos and ELAC. East Los Angeles, 26-23, 2:06 left. Cerritos Falcons with the lead.
Jabari Hughes goes to the far side of the field. Lorick goes with him. Kobe Bell, the tight end here on the near side of the field. They run it to this side. Going to be gain of about 3. It's going to bring it up to a 3rd down and 6. And we have Warrior on the sideline. And we have a Hornet down on the field right at the 42. So with 6:27 to go, there'll be timeout on the field. Tied at 23 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Hornets trying to make this a happy occasion, kind of like Brian Norman's happy occasion, 34th wedding anniversary while he's watching the Hornets.
Congratulations.
34 years. Good job. Been missing you at a couple games, but we're always glad that you're listening and watching.
I've been on 34 dates and nobody wants to redate me, so I think that's pretty amazing.
I thought it was the 34 dates aspect. It was pretty amazing myself.
So a flag on the play. It is moved back. None of us saw where the flag came from because we were looking at the player down. Ryan?
Came from the near sideline right in front of where most of the Hornets are standing. It was just a little bit of extracurricular activities afterwards. 2 guys get locked up, but an El Camino player throws a Hornet down to the floor once they have passed the out-of-bounds barrier.
So the observant eyes of a young man lets you know what's going on. With 6:27 to go, we're tied at 23 here on sports@usa.net.
And it goes to your statement you just made a few moments ago that nobody wants to win this game as Brandon's son is finally up. Both teams doing all they can to foil their opportunities.
Exactly, Corey. I mean, you know, you look at them, they're on the move. They're down by the 40. Then they get the penalty that moves them back across the 50 down to the 42. And now it makes it a more difficult third down when you look at them. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 20 for El Camino. We're at the 6:27 mark here in the 4th quarter. Jabari Hughes Jr. comes to the near side of the field. Ukatu, the tight end who has not had anything thrown his direction, lines up on the near side of the field. Jordan at quarterback. 3rd down and 20. Jordan goes down. Here comes the pressure. Rolls away from it. Rolls away again. Got the middle of the field. Goes down. Gets a block. Steps out of bounds. And then after he goes out of bounds, drops a shoulder and hits a guy standing out of bounds. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
And what's more impressive is it was 3rd and 19. He picks up 17 yards on the run to make it 4th and 2.
Yeah, and El Camino is going to kick it away because they don't want the Hornets to get excellent field position. You look at the quarterback walking off the field, and Jordan's going, come on, guys, let me stay out here. This is where you've got to stay at home if you're the Hornets. Don't jump anything. Watch for the fake. Here's the fake. Passes in the air. Turn around and catch it, somebody. They do. Interception at the 30. Come down the field at the 24. Stay on. Go down at the 40 on a fake punt by El Camino. Ryan Osborn, that looked like something Corey Neyland threw on the best of his days.
That's the thing. When you take a look at that football, like you were talking about, that ball flutters up into the air. As he gets that football, he takes one step back. His initial option is over to his left. However, as soon as he sees that option, he sees a guy open on the crossing pattern going across the field. The indecision causes the football to flutter because his body was facing left, but his head was facing right, and that's what sends that football into the air.
And, of course, I've got to ask guys why. You have 2 running backs that have just been eating up the Hornets. Why the fake punt? Nunez takes it up the middle. So we're at 5:31. I mean, oh, Corey, come on, let's be honest.
No, honestly, your play action read option when the quarterback fakes it has not been stopped yet by the Hornets. Every single time that's been run, positive yardage has been gained.
And to your point, Corey, just previously, the previous play picked up 17.
Tyrell Green Jr. gets stopped, turns the outside, 30, 20, 10, diving in, touchdown Hornets! Tyrell Green Jr. Tyrell Green Jr. And Corey Neyland, if he don't have over 100 yards now, he never will.
He's well over 100 yards, close to 200. There you go. As he broke it, the play's designed to go gap. He breaks it to the outside because the left side of the line, you got to give credit to George Silva, Sammy Garcia on that left side of the line to clear out that way, and the downfield blocking by the receivers and the speed from Mr. Green Jr. Whew.
Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 5 minutes to go, flag on the play, Ryan Osborn?
Yeah, right as the ball was let go. And Faubert is looking a little frustrated. Initially, it looked like he was going to walk back to the line of scrimmage.
So we're seeing
it's
what they're going to call.
Looks like it's going to be running into the kicker.
So with 5 minutes to go as the discussion's going on the field, it should be the Hornets 30, the Warriors 23 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Go back to the play again. A good run by the quarterback on first down picks up 4 to 5 yards. But Tyrell Green Jr., all the runs he's had, he's forced it up the A gap, and that's what's been there. Or the B, the O, the one hole. But this one, where the opportunity presents itself on the outside, and that's the patience. And that's the patience that you talked about during your interview the other day, or excuse me, the offensive line told you about his patience, allowed him to redirect the run to the left side. And I didn't see the block on the outside. I saw the block, but I couldn't see who made that receiver, who made the block on the defensive back. I didn't see the number. But he allowed Green Jr. to get that extra 15 and scoot in the end zone.
So the penalty is going to move the ball up to the 50 with 5 minutes to go. And you know what? I don't even get tricky. I kick it into the end zone and say start at the 25. 5 minutes, up by 7. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. A fake punt that went awry, and the Hornets took advantage of it.
The counter argument to this, Mark, is you get this ball to go, lots of hang time inside the 10-yard line, let your guys run up to it.
No.
Gobert. Big kick, all the way deep, signaled for a fair catch, touchback. So it's up to Brian Crooks' team to say, guys, don't give up anything quickly.
And we want to ask Phil Thurman, what's the official yardage for Tyrell Green Jr.? Tyrell Green Jr.? Yes.
Should be like 147 the way we figure it.
172.
Corey Neyland says 172.
I'll go 131.
Oh, how Ryan wishes that was his weight. Run it straight up the middle. So El Camino comes out with the running attack, and Corey Neyland, we wondered why Brian Santana Feast was not running with the football, and the fake punt happened.
Well, hey, it happens. Santana Feast and Bradford had been running well. Jordan on the keepers.
Second down at 7. Jordan goes back, steps up. Here comes the pressure. Steps out of a tackle. Gets across the 35 for a first down.
And this is where Fullerton has to be careful. If they play that prevent defense, the linebackers are going to have to stay at home and make sure Jordan doesn't pick up positive yardage like that.
First down and 10 at the 36. We're at 4:12 in the fourth, up by 7. Once again, quarterback keeps it, takes off running, gets to the 40, gain of 3.
And this time, Tito Noir did a better job of staying at home and corralling, making sure the outside is not gotten by Jordan.
Ryan Santana Feast at running back. Young man has been spectacular. Broke 1 for 60 in this game. We're under 4. We're at 3:45 here in the fourth quarter. Clock is ticking, up by 7. Ball goes down. Quarterback throws it out to the flat, and they get something for nothing, and we're going to get a flag on the play against the Hornets.
And that is going to be a late hit on the quarterback after that ball was let go.
Blake Hill. Guys, this is not the only game on Sportsnet that's coming down to the wire. East LA 30. Cerritos 26 with 32 seconds left.
And remember, Cerritos has just moved up to top 4 in the state of California.
So roughing the passer against the Hornets takes it all the way down to the 45 with 3:32 to go. Jordan in at quarterback. Brianna Santana Feast at running back. First down and 10. for the Warriors. Try to get the Hornets to jump. Jabari Hughes Jr. in the slot on the near side of the field. They're going to go to him one of these times. Here comes the pressure going down the other side of the field. Incomplete, out of bounds. Nice coverage on the far side of the field. And that was against Marcius.
Kearns did a nice job of making Yetz work the sideline.
Great. So wait a minute, who's Mark mentioning? Didn't know it. We're good friends. I use his first name now. 2nd down and 10. They hand it off to the big man who just runs over people, and he gets mugged, and he's going to get at least 4 yards on the mugging. You've got to like Brian Santana Feast and the way he runs.
He has an uncanny knack of making his defenders tackle him on the upper part of his body and not down low, waist and below. And that's how he's picking up these yak yards, not yards after catch, but these extra yards, after first contact.
3rd down and 6. They run the quarterback option. Quarterback steps away. This time they get him down in the backfield. It's going to be a 4th down and 10.
So Ant Harris.
Go ahead, Corey.
I was going to say Ant Harris is in there, but it was LeBaron Kennedy Jr. who forced Jordan to scramble out of the pocket into Harris.
So Brandon Hodge goes to the far side of the field. Jabari Hughes Jr. near side of the field. 4th down and 13 for the Warriors. Brian Santana Feast in at running back. Big 4th down and 13. They bring the house. Ball is knocked out. It's a fumble. No matter how you look at it, it'll be a turnover. And the Hornets, they're calling it an incomplete pass. But the Hornets still get the football.
So Maximus Ahoyo comes as Brian Crooks and his staff on defense. That was the first time all game he brought the house, and it paid dividends on the outside.
El Camino's got 2 timeouts left.
Next time we're going to ask him to plug that in. Coach.
Quarterback runs it straight up the middle.
2 questions.
So we've got our offensive line coach. Johnny, we came up to you at the beginning of the game today, and I said to you, what about the offensive line? What makes them special? And you started talking about them. I said, we thought they were the doubtful group. And you looked at me and said, no, you know what? They are the group. They proved that tonight here against El Camino.
Yeah, they really did do a great job at coming together and just running the ball. I thought just keeping their feet moving, keeping their hands steady, making sure not getting too many holding calls, and execution. Really came down to execution.
And how difficult is it for an offensive lineman? You had 3 different quarterbacks coming to that game. Cadences are different. Styles of running are different. How's that change the mindset for offensive linemen when 3 different people walk in at that crucial position?
It's a lot of trust in Garrett Campbell. He does a great job of preparing our offense, especially the quarterback group. So for us, it quite doesn't really matter who's back there. They do a great job at calling plays and executing. So playing with 3 quarterbacks, it's a great thing. So I thought they responded real well as a group, and I'm excited to see what's next.
The last question before I let you go. I'm with Corey, Ryan. They're with the old guy. What are your facial expressions during one of these football games?
A lot of confusion and a lot of frustration. So my facial expressions, I'm glad you can't see them.
Well, you know what? He could be a voice here on Sportsnet USA.net. As Tyrell Green Jr. Corey Neyland decided to pop me down, too. You know, he said, that's a good one, Mark, so I'm just going to let you end it right there as the clock continues to run with 1:20 to go. The Hornets up by 7 over El Camino, 30-23 on Sportsnet, USA.net. First and 10 at the 40. They said, hey, start it. Reset the play clock, as there it is. Now they reset it. So 57 seconds to go. The Hornets have to run one more play, and they will sneak out with a victory here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We get motion, and then we get a timeout on the field before the motion. Let's see if there was a flag. So a flag on the far side of the field. It looks like it'll be against the Hornets. You know what? I just love his thing about his expressions, because when he's saying what I'm saying, that's Ryan, Corey, and Mark he's doing in the booth next to us. We'll take a knee, and that should take us in this game. As we take a knee with 40 seconds to go, the play clock should go back up to 25. And the official is talking to Garrett. They're going to tell him one more. As we're at 25 seconds, the Hornets 30. The Warriors 23. And that should bring us to the end of the game. As it does, your Fullerton College Hornets are going to win a squeaker on a great game with a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the day, it was the Hornets out on top, as the Hornets will continue. Don't forget, next week it's bye week. No Fullerton College football next week here on SportsNetUSA.net. But enjoy this week as your Hornets walk away with a 30-23 victory over El Camino. This has been Fullerton College football on Sportsnet USA.